Hey, everybody coming in. Just give me 1 second, just making sure all of the links are in the right places as you guys come in. So give me 1 second. Okay, I learned from the last time to make sure I have everything in place and ready and prepared before I get the talking. But how are you guys? Happy Friday. Good to see you guys coming in. Did I just go live? Nope. I'm actually live now. Last time I went live was last week. So it's good to see you guys again. Interesting title today. So yeah, we're definitely going to get into a few things. First of all, I want to thank all of you guys who trusted me enough to book sessions with me. I've been speaking to you guys all week, and very, very eye-opening and inspiring to the point where I actually started a private group just for us, for those who actually book sessions with me, because we go very, very deep into very personal things, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, and you guys share so much. So I feel like I really know you guys after the fact, and I have to keep in touch. So everyone who's booked something with me, they've been invited to just our private spot. I've learned so much, which has like inspired just a lot of just the ongoing content, which is what I was really kind of looking for, was inspiration anyway. And I'm getting it from you guys. So thank you for that. Anybody that wants to book sessions with me, I have a few options available before we get into the topic today. The link is actually pinned to the top of the comment section or in the description. I actually am, it's sort of kind of like therapy. I have a degree in it, so I am so-called socially certified. But of course, I have my own thing and I do my own thing. So I have my own techniques. So if you actually are looking for counseling sessions ongoing, then I'm your person. If you're looking to repair certain DNA circuits, I am a specialist in that. I would consider myself a specialist within the DNA repair area. I understand ancestral drama and I understand the blockage that can be caused from ancestral drama not addressed by those in the family who are quite aware or not aware of their own accountability within the drama. So then all of that passes down to the descendants, the children, the grandchildren, to you. And if you want no parts of it, there are ways to split from that part of your DNA and actually start all over again. And when you do that, you can actually get closer to the more, I don't like using the word higher self because anything higher is not necessarily better. So to your more expansive self that is waiting to reconnect, that has lots of beautiful memories as well as traumatic ones, but with solutions. And this is the way we actually progress into where we're actually going in the future, because we have no choice but to progress. So if you are down to dive into, well, to dive deeply into your ancestral stuff and get closer to your more expansive self that has more information, more life, more magic, more feeling, more emotion, more everything, then you can book a session with me there. I also do card readings and intuitive readings. I don't necessarily even need cards. I just kind of know stuff. So I've had really good sessions with you guys on that level as well. So the link again is there. Just had to kind of put that out there before I even begin in conversation. And for those of you who are interested in the classes, I'm doing group sessions every 4 weeks on a Friday. So the next group session is 11/11, of course. November 11th, we're having our first group session, and that is on Well, I named it Portals of Light, coming into the darkness or going through the darkness, but really it's sex, jinn, and demons. So those of you who have expressed wanting to learn more about your darker side without being afraid of it, without using it to manipulate others, but to just accept certain parts of yourself that you may be afraid of or ashamed of, you may want to join in on that class. It's a very intimate setting, so we can trust who's around, and I'll make it comfortable for you guys, and we'll just discuss everything that is in the shadow so we can actually rebirth ourselves into the actual light, like the real light, not the false light. We have many different doors with many different lights, and one is basically full of data and information, and the other is full of life and energy. So you want to make sure you go through the right door as you go into your quote unquote demonic realm, which again, most people are afraid of these terms. So I'm just trying to get people used to the stuff that actually exists inside of us that we can't kill or get rid of. All right. So if you are interested in taking that class, on 11/11, you can click the link. There's also a coupon code for you guys, which is class 11. You'll see all of that in the description if you're interested. So just wanted to get that out the way in the beginning before I get into this Marilyn Monroe conversation people have been asking me about. And I'm just like, listen, I got other topics, but this is a good one because of a session I actually had with a young lady that expressed a lot of things feminine and non-traditional, and I really felt like it was a great topic, and she asked if I would speak on it, so I am here to speak on it. Today is also my daughter's birthday, so happy birthday to my daughter and myself, because I am my daughter and she is me, and we're going to speak on that specifically when we're talking about portals of doors and light and life, especially when it comes to children. For those of you who have children, who do not have children, there are ways to actually detach yourself from the past life and bring yourself into a new one. The requirements of that is just being honest with yourself, quite literally. You don't have to act, you don't have to pretend. Just be yourself and rebirth yourself. So that is it. So I'm going to stop right there. Let me look in the comments real quick to see who's here. And for those of you who are, if you are, you know, donating the Cash App and all that, thank you ahead of time. I'll just thank you now. That is in the description as well. So let me say hello to you guys and see what's going on in the comments again before I get directly into the subject matter. Monique is asking, did you ever post a financial empowerment protection workshop? I was going to enroll, but I wanted to make sure which group it was in first, and that didn't happen. Monique, I was actually moving at the time, so that is a part of the class. So Monique, I think what you're talking about is the Masonic debt clearing. Yes, I will be discussing that. That is a very important part of how we basically detach from all the bullshit. We have to understand what true masonry is about, whether we are male or female. A lot of it has been taken over by the male essence, and whether we are male or female bodies, if you are truly empowered, you have both poles activated. So you have access to true masonry, whether you're a male or female, and you have access to true, not just building your life, but experiencing it from your own lens, from your own point of view. So yes, there are ways to clear debt because there's been a lot of dumping into the field of unknowingness. So what a lot of people do, and again, I'm not anti-secret society, but what a lot of these fraternities do, or brotherhoods or sisterhoods, they kind of dump into a field of the ignorant to get rid of all the shit that they don't want to deal with. And every now and then there's a person in that ignorant group, or the purple cow, that just says, fuck this shit, you're not giving this to me. You're going to have to get it back, deal with it, and alchemize it yourself, because we have the abilities to do that. So Yes, Monique, just to answer your question, I will be talking about that during the class, because that is a big part of clearing. So thank you for asking about that. So Monique, you can actually go to the link and sign up for the Portals of Light Through the Darkness class. And that actually is a part of the curriculum, Clearing Masonic Debt. Let me look into something. See, sometimes I gotta correct people for what they say, which is a whole thing as well. But the tattoo is not of Isis. It is of a goddess energy that is all encompassing, but Isis is nice. Okay. Credentials from whom? If you've helped, oh yes, I've graduated from Long Island University. For those who do not know, that is my credentials. So there we go. Yes, Monique, again, just to answer your question, go to the link and you can sign up for the next class, which is on 11/11 on that Friday. So I'm going to get into the subject matter, which is, it's titled The Marilyn Monroe Sabotage. It's not about the movie, even though I've watched the movie. I'm talking about the essence that is Marilyn, from a point of view of just a knowing. Intuitively, I can reference the movie, but again, the movie is actually quite irrelevant when it comes to speaking on what I'm going to speak on today. When I had a session with a woman, and it's okay to share because again, she asked me to share this. So if she's here, hey. But we talked a lot about the rebirthing and how toxic motherhood can be. I believe in Marilyn's story, her mother was she was very toxic towards her. A lot of these stories are very layered. There's a 3D perspective where you see the story as literal. And then there are other perspectives that are more metaphysical, that are more ritualistic, and speaks to a different part of our minds and our souls. And I'm going to speak on the layer that is more so metaphysical. So I'm not going to get more so into the 3D, what everybody knows about the story. Her mom tried to kill her in the bathtub. Her mother was just so resentful towards her for having her because she lost her man from having her daughter, and she couldn't get the love of her life back. And she blamed her daughter for being born because of that. And because of that, she basically tortured her in a sense, emotionally, mentally, and physically, just putting all of the blame towards her daughter for being born. And of course, that caused a lot of anguish and issues towards Marilyn herself. And you guys know that story. So what I wanted to really speak on was, or is, I should say, the metaphysical side of that. When we're talking about archetypes, we have to see ourselves as all of the archetypes. So Marilyn's mom was Marilyn. Marilyn was Marilyn's mom. The thing about that, and some of you already know this on some kind of level, is that it is a disconnect, or it represented a disconnect from Marilyn's inner child. Her inner child was taken from her. So when you sever the psyche of a person, you divide them into different personalities. So basically, the woman that represented Marilyn's mother was basically the entity called Norma Jean, not Marilyn. Norma Jean. Norma Jean was just one woman that grew up in some sort of breeding situation. So she grew up in what we would call MK Ultra-like settings, and she was heavily programmed and breeded to become what she became. Of course, in the life of entertainment, in the life of Hollywood, in the life, right? So the entity, we're going to look at Norma Jean as one woman. She has no children. She has nothing but herself. When you see the potential of someone, which is someone of innocence, because first it begins with innocence. When you see a woman that has a lot of light and innocence about her, and you have plans for her, then there must be some type of programming that begins to separate her from herself. A lot of this happens all over. It's not just with celebrities or with people who are born and bred to become stars. It's somewhere in all types of level where whether we're talking about the school system, whether we're talking about work, whether we're talking about different pockets that are trained to continuously train us to be who we are and divide ourselves in many different parts. So basically, Norma Jean was severed from herself in a sense where she became not Marilyn yet, because that's another personality, but she became the little girl version. So whoever her mother was, but I'm going to call her Norma, whatever her name was, she was split into Norma, the little girl. So then she had herself and a little girl version of herself. And somehow through programming, she was taught to, or brainwashed to, hate herself, hate that part of herself. So when there's a constant conflict between a version of yourself that is trying to be an adult and go one direction, and you're in conflict with a version of yourself that is of youth and is going into another direction and needs to be nurtured and cared for, there's always going to be a conflict because it wasn't an agreement. It's just a severed personality. So a lot of what you saw, even within the movie, was basically just Norma Jean torturing herself, right? And we're going again beyond the 3D level. So once that was severed, of course, the entity of what we would call her father was used as bait to spark certain emotions, both from her little girl self and her mother self. So her mother self wanted to leave little girl self and be with her love, chasing after this invisible person, or this handler type spirit. And little girl version of self just wanted a father. So one wanted to be in love again, and she wanted to chase her handler. And the little girl wanted to again, figure out and find out and be connected with her father. So two different scenarios, but again, the same person. How does a person deal with these levels of psyche severance when that's just the beginning, right? Especially if you're studying to be an actress or an actor. I'm not an actress, but I understand the mind. I've studied it. I understand it on an intuitive level as well. So I understand the importance of getting to know certain parts of ourselves. But again, when we're played against these parts, we are placed into different roles that may be one-dimensional because of it. So as they were separated, finally, she was taken to a home, right? Something happened to her mother. Some other woman found her and took her into a home, an orphanage. So this orphan archetype is a lot of us. A lot of us we don't have mothers and fathers really. So she never really had a mother. She never really had a father. That is the story or the archetype of the orphan Annie syndrome, or the Annie syndrome. Michael Jackson, Annie, are you okay? Right? So it's a lot of us that have been born and bred into many memories of lives, and we cannot trace ourselves back to anything. So we always have to recreate ourselves, and we are placed in a lot of situations where we think those situations are real. I know you guys have seen this on a lot of shows. There are some shows that show this. I forgot the name of that show. It's on Google Play, I believe, but it's about cloning, where she has a bunch of clones of her running around, and each clone has a handler. And sometimes the handlers are your husband, your wife, your like best friend, your mother, your father, like placed in these situations that are implanted into your memory to have you think that you grew up in this place as a child when you never have, and to accept it as the truth. But it's just a lot of just programming. So a lot of, when she was placed in this home, she was basically bred to become Marilyn. That part, her mother always dies anyway. So this is a thing, even when you look at every Disney film, the mother is dead. No one ever wants to be mother. No female ever wants to play the mother role because mother always dies. Mother never gets what she wants. Mother is always sacrificial. So this is why it's important, especially when I go more so into the classes, is what I've been figuring out on my own, just getting like back in tune with all of my own memory, is that this is why it's important to learn how to rebirth yourself, so that you are not stuck in a role of rebirthing others for them. Never yourself and end up dying. And I'll just let that sit for a while, because again, when we are placed in certain situations through programming, there is only one role to play. We are not given permission to play the many roles that we can, because we are one entity with many parts of ourselves. So we are compartmentalized into different personalities, and we are chosen. We are given a chosen role based upon your race, based upon your sex, based upon your look, based upon your abilities or lack thereof. There are many things that come into play that determine what role you play. And some roles are like switched. Some roles are just stolen. Some roles are just like, wait, how did I get here? I don't belong here. Like, I know who I am and I know my abilities. Why am I playing this role? So when we're going into these split parts of self, Norma Jean was chosen not to be mom, of course. That part of herself died. Or in the movie, as they showed, or in her story, put in a mental institution, locked in her own psyche, placed in a loop. So this part of her psyche is very real, but it's just not living amongst civilization or civilians. She is placed in a loop of programming and torture to keep her out of the way so that Norma Jean could be Marilyn. Norma could not be Marilyn if her mom self or her adult self is involved and is in harmony with her younger self. So they have to be disharmonic in order for Norma to become Marilyn. So if you guys are following me, you guys understand where I'm coming from so far, because I'm going through intricacies of archetype. I'm not talking about the movie. All right. So basically her mom is forgotten. Who gives a fuck about her mom? Right? It's now about Marilyn. And now Marilyn goes on this quest in her acting career, her modeling and acting career, and her main quest is to find her father. Finding her father is that dangling carrot that keeps her on her mission. Her father is the goal, the end all be all for her. So if you have someone that is being programmed to be a specific thing, and the result will veer them off path, then you keep that result away. That is Psychology 101. That is very simple. So, unbeknownst to Marilyn, she was never going to find her father because that wasn't the plan. We had to keep this guy away with sporadic communication, leaving her with severe daddy issues so that she can be the best Marilyn ever. And that's exactly what happened. She became the best at her role because of her lack of father figure. So if someone is the best at their role that they're being trained for from a lack of something, that something will always be kept away from you. Now, that is one thing, right? So it's that was all the way until the end of her journey. She was still calling out for her daddy all the way till the end, right? It was sexual, it was childlike, it was in all different types of archetypes. So her husband's played her daddy, her, like, somebody had to be her daddy, right? And this is the thing that we do in order to create specific results. I think they call it, it's kind of like creating a diamond, right? When we create diamonds, we have to put the diamonds under pressure, always. And once the diamond is created, diamonds are forever. So when diamonds are shaped, not raw, not in its raw form, but shaped, the shaping of the diamond is highly alchemical and painful. So when you are shaping, especially a role that Marilyn had played, she was shaped, literally and figuratively shaped in edges and all types of shit to become this beautiful, sparkly diamond that has so much pain to carry just to be that diamond, right? The diamond in the sky. The star, that's the star as well, right? The sparkly, sprinkly, sparkly diamonds in the night sky. Thing about stars is that they don't exist. When you get closer and closer, you realize they're not there. Stars are dead already. We see the ghost of the stars in the sky. They're not even alive. So it's just an ongoing program that brings people to a certain point of result. So a lot of the handling is result driven only. They do not give a fuck about the process. They do not give a fuck about how you feel about the process. All they want is a star, and they want that diamond sparkly and nice. And that's all that matters to the very end. And what I'm getting to, though, eventually is there was a point in her story, and I'm going to look in the comments in a second. I'm going to look at, yeah, it's funny. Somebody said diamonds are a girl's best friend. There's a reason why dogs are man's best friend and diamonds are girls' best friends, right? But I'm going to look in the comments in a second. I just wanted to get through this part of the subject matter. So there's a part where she has been pregnant multiple times, and she's never followed through with the pregnancy. She's either had an abortion or she went through miscarriage, but it never materialized. I want to talk about that specifically. She wasn't meant to be mother because her mother, that side of her, was killed already. Within that, it was basically cleansed. It was taken away from her psyche. So no matter how old Norma Jean or Marilyn would have gotten, she will always be the little girl, right? So that was her role, to be the princess all of the time, no matter how old she got, which is why even the tone in her voice, or her personality on screen, I should say, was very childlike and very like innocent. And in that sense, because that was who she was meant to be forever. That was her diamond. So there's no way that she's supposed to have a baby, first of all, because she is the baby. She is the little girl. She is the teen. and that's as old as you can get in that world. Okay, so you have many stages of your youthfulness, but the best and the most and the cap you can receive is teen, no matter how old, right? So that was her role. So she could never get through with her pregnancies. Now, the thing about this, and this is what I really want to get into as far as the metaphysical side of things, is there's a point in history where, when we're talking about royal families, when we're talking about families at war, and I spoke about this in a session with a specific person about this, because her ancestral stuff came up and her children came up, and there was a way that she needed to actually separate from her mom. Same as kind of like Norma Jean in a sense, but just 3D wise. So there's a point where in history, a lot of the patriarchy, they only wanted sons for a reason. And a lot of people think, oh, because they needed a successor, or they needed someone to carry their names, because the sons were the ones that carry the family name. So of course, if I marry, she must have my son. And sometimes you can even see that in a Game of Thrones as well. Like, if you had a daughter, they're tossing your daughter somewhere, because that wasn't what the result, like, that's not what we asked for. We asked for sons. So if you keep having daughters, we're going to place your daughter somewhere to be other things, because we don't need daughters in this family, because I need a son. This was a specific reason. So the daughter was always separated from her mother back in those days, because if they told you this, of course, it was sort of kind of like a lack of power thing. Like, daughters have no power. It's the male babies that do. Now, the thing about understanding doors and portals and the afterlife is that you need, this is one route, right? When we're talking about family and legacy, which will always be a part of, which is a part of the DNA. They understood that if mother, their wife, had a son, and the king or whoever needed a guaranteed all access pass to the next life, in his death, he needed to make sure not to have a son to carry his name, but to have a son to carry his soul. Okay? So it was more so of reincarnation, very big. I don't care how religious the cover up of the families and royals were with, oh my God, we don't believe that in our religion. That was what it is. Reincarnation. And that's a real thing, a transference of energy from one body to the next. You've seen that even in futuristic shows, where you can literally download and upload consciousness into robots, into other bodies, into the mind. The mind is a computer. Or I should say the brain is a computer, the mind is the consciousness. So the mind is not even inside of the brain, but there's data connected to the brain itself. So we know that information is uploaded and downloaded within the body, right? So they understood this on a level that was less technical, but they still understood the transference of energy. So when they knew they were planning for their next life, you see this even in Egyptian mythologies and the Nordics and all of the mythologies, that the plan was always for the next life, while they had civilian planning for heaven. So civilians plan for heaven, civilian people or regular people, because royals weren't regular people or civilians. So regular people, like you see, like Jehovah's Witnesses and so on, like you see the pamphlets, you open it up and they show you what heaven looks like. And this is what you must do now for then, for when you die. So everything that you would do in your life is for when you die. So you can never really be happy now or do what you want now, because you might go to hell. And don't you want to go to heaven? Do you see the pamphlet or not? Like, do you want to go on this vacation after you die? You must have these prerequisites in line in order to do so. So you must do this and do that and do this and do that. And I guarantee by the time you die, you'll be happy. That is sold. It is a sell. It's a sales pitch that is sold to civilian people who believe that shit. They're actually really fucking believing that shit. And just like, yo, I have to suppress myself forever in this life so that when I die, I can finally be free. But the royals knew better. They knew not to fall for that bullshit because they created that, right? So what they did was they lived their life the way they fucking wanted to, and they planned for the next life. And they chose their descendants. So they had specific children. So a lot of the males wanted to continue being men. They didn't want to come back as women. They wanted to be the king. They wanted to be the prince. They wanted to be like still in the bloodline as youthful men. So they knew that if they died at like, and some of them lived in only to like 50, 60 years old, you know, during these times that I'm speaking of, and their sons were already teenagers. So they had a walkthrough with mother or wife being portal, of course, because she brought that life into the world. So she's the door. That's all she was known for, because we had the concubines that didn't have that role. And that was like a Marilyn role. The concubine doesn't have to deal with this shit. The mother and the wife, or mother-wife, which is the same shit, is the door. That's all she is for this motherfucker to go from one life to the next. All right. That's all she's good for in this religion. So that's it. She's an invisible motherfucker. This king is fucking with concubines and all types of other bitches, which is fine. I don't care, but this is what it is. There are roles in place, doing his thing, doing what he wants, because he's the king. But then again, when the king is dying on his deathbed, he does not give a shit, because he knows that when he opens his eyes in the next life, he's going to be his teenage son. So fuck this shit. And then he gets to do what he wants again and become king again, because he has his whole shit set up for when he dies that his next son is going to be king. It is so obvious, right? And again, I'm not against any of this. I may sound a little cynical. You do what you need to do, right? But a lot of the women were not aware of this, or they were, and they weren't bold enough to just say, hey, like, all right, you get to do this, but what about my door? What about my door? Like, what about my fucking afterlife? What happens when I die? Like, motherfucker, I know you got this shit set up. You do what you do. But what about me? So women back then weren't able to ask, what about me? Like, they can't stop him from doing what he does. But again, what about me? So that was illegal. Women could not plan for their afterlives. Their men or their handlers or their fathers had to plan for their afterlives. And that was a problem, because sometimes as a woman, not even sometimes, all of the time as a woman, you want to play all parts of yourself. You want to be that part of yourself that plays nurturer and mother and brings life into the world. But you also want, you're not just a mother, you're also still a daughter. You need to also be cared for. You're also a woman. You have needs, you have passion, you have sensuality, sexuality, you have other desires as a woman. But as a mother and a wife, you're not supposed to have desires, because that's separated for the girls who were chosen for that role. So desire is not for you, ma'am. You are wife and mom. And there is no afterlife that will grant you to be free like those women over there. See, you don't have either the look, you're not, it's so many, or it's based on so many variables, because they were chosen based upon, of course, as we go through the ages, there were different beauty standards. on who could be like daughters forever, who could be mothers forever. Like, again, diamonds are forever. So you can become a diamond motherfucker, and that's it. That is your life forever. And you know how long forever is? And if you have somebody else choosing that role for you, that shit is crazy, because you're going to choose my forever, and I don't even agree with it. That shit is called prison. It's called prison. So, getting back to Marilyn for a second, since she is the muse for this conversation, is that she was chosen to be concubine-like, and she was chosen to be the youthful one. But there's a lot of torment that comes with that, because there's a lot of herself that she had to deny. So the thing about Marilyn that I want to say is that, first of all, the movie depicted a very astral-like experience of her, a very dreamy experience. Okay. There's a part of Marilyn that they don't talk about. Marilyn actually dressed in men's clothes when she wasn't on film. Most of the time, she liked dressing in men's clothes. She did not wear the crazy dresses and the costumes like she did on set or for events. She felt more comfortable dressing in men's clothes in a very fashionable way. Like, she killed it, like with the men's tweed, with the fucking like turtlenecks and all that. She was doing her thing with the style, but she preferred male clothing. Another thing that they don't know about Marilyn, that most people don't know, is that she loved to read books. Not just poetry or what they showed in fucking movie on some lightweight shit. No, she was a reader and a writer. She wrote and she read continuously. She was very well-versed in a lot of things. So that was a part of herself that she had to deny 80% of the time. And I say this confidently. I can't wait to look in the comments. Just give me a second. She had to deny this part of herself 80% of the time. You know how that feels to a person who just loves to do their own thing, be creative, and go into other realms of their self that is not required to be this thing that she has to be. Because if she's not that, she'll die. Like, that is the threat. And she ended up dying, didn't she? You cannot change your role. You cannot change your mind. This is you. 80% is actually too low on the spectrum. Bring it up to 97%. Save the 3% for when you go to sleep, Marilyn. Norma. Save the 3% for when you lay your head on a pillow to be yourself. 97% of the time, you must be who we say you must be. That shit is not, after a while, it's tiring to the actual soul that wants to expand beyond that. Marilyn grew very bored of the men that she had to entertain. Okay? She grew bored of the men she had to entertain, because she had to entertain the same type of man all the time. And then there's a resentment that is gained from this type of man, because she always like fucking runs off or does something, or she never stays. That's also her role. Like, she never stays. She has to get a divorce. If you marry her, you fucking marry her, she's gonna leave. You guys are not gonna stay together forever. Don't even count on it. Right? Because she's forced to not be with the person or the type of person that she wants to be with, because that's not a part of her role. So this constant redundant cycle of looping in her relationship, in her like fucking not even just role, but like her personal life, and the smile she had to put on all the time, and the dresses. And after a while, that grows taxing again to the spirit. Taxing, just like money, taxing to the spirit. You start to mature. A character or archetype like Marilyn is not supposed to mature. So there are things in the program. So every time she tried to mature, which is basically every time she tried to at least get pregnant, right? And I'm going to speak on that on a metaphysical, not a physical side, because everybody doesn't want to get pregnant. or anything like that. It's not about actual pregnancy. But every time she tried to basically find a door for herself to mature and expand beyond her role, something tragic happened. Something happened to pull her back. Or they used her father, right? Her father, the imaginary motherfucker. They used him. He sent her letters. You guys should be drinking with me. Like, you guys should know this by now. Like, this is, I guess this is the thing, like drinking wine and talking to you guys, but get a drink. If you have some wine, go get some wine or whiskey or whatever the fuck you have. So basically what I'm saying is, so her father always sent her letters. She always got a letter every time she was in her life, at a point in her life where she was ready to exit stage left. She got a letter from her daddy, right? Thank you for the super chat. Thank you. You've been a follower since my curly hair videos. Thank you very much. I'm glad you're still here. And again, if you guys want to donate to anything, Cash App, Venmo, PayPal, it is at tarenguy, or you can see those descriptions in the description box. Or again, if you want to book sessions and join like our private community and have these conversations on a personal level, you can click the link that is pinned in the comment section. There's coupon codes for you guys in the description, because again, we're going to get more so into that conversation after this and after I check the comment section. Okay. But I had to acknowledge the super chat, so thank you. So basically, every time she tries to expand, she gets a letter from daddy. And what happens, what is that called, right? It's called a trigger. So we all have triggers because we're all programmed to certain levels. We've all been through traumatic situations enough to know that triggers exist, but you don't always have to get shot. Just because you got a trigger does not mean get shot. But she seemed to always get shot every single time, every time a letter from daddy comes. She reverts back into, or she regresses back into the little girl who is super dependent on this thing and this dream and this promise. And that gets her right back on track to play her part. Marilyn, where the fuck are you going? You cannot exit stage left. We own you. We own the rights to your archetype. We own the rights to your building of being a person. Like, you're not even a woman, you're a thing, you're a product to us. So Marilyn, you cannot do shit. Okay, so this is just a lot of what's a part of whether just being an entertainment or just being a specific type of person. A person that has charisma, a person that has magnetism. If you look at Marilyn, she's actually one of the people, like if I'm like on Instagram and I'm going through my timeline, I'll see like constant pictures of her. She's actually one face or one person that I don't get tired of looking at. I'm just like, wow, she's just every fucking picture. Everyone. Like, I'm not tired of seeing her face at all. Like, people were enamored and obsessed with her image. So she became like a Mona Lisa. She became like a muse. So of course she couldn't go anywhere. She brought in so much money and so much attention to her branding for the company in which she was owned by, or her false family. So Marilyn didn't know that she was owned until later in life. And that's fucked up. When you finally figure out that you're owned, how the fuck do you escape? Oh, you escape through either a metaphysical pregnancy or an actual pregnancy. And that's the power of being a woman, because there are actual real life parallel timeline shit like connected to the dreaming inside of the womb that I spoke about on a couple of videos ago, that actually materializes outside of the womb. It's the same repeated life. It's the same dream. So basically, Her, in the movie, at least, I'll refer to the movie, her baby was speaking to her. And when she got the abortion again, her baby's just like, hey, you know, I'm the same baby from before. And you kind of like killed me before. Are you going to do it again? And she's just like, how do I know you're the same one? And she's just, and the baby's just like, yeah, I just am. Like, I'm the same baby. Every time you get pregnant, it's me. Hey, like, are you ever going to bring me into fruition? And when I see that on a metaphysical level, it's basically herself saying, hey, you owned motherfucker. Are you gonna wake up and like live your life or not? Are you gonna abort mission from exiting stage left, or are you gonna just kill me again? So it was a part of herself that was constantly trying to come through the portal of her. Come through the portal of her, because we are the portals. Women are the doors. That is why we are placed in certain situations to be doors for others. And sometimes it's allowed. Sometimes it's just like, oh yeah, of course. Like you know, I'm aware enough to know that, yeah, you deserve to like pass through. I got you. Like, it's all good as long as you don't fucking steal from me. Because when you pass through portals, you have rights or access to certain jewels and information and records when you go through a specific type of female or feminine archetype. There are many ways to pass through portals. You don't have to go through the vagina. So it's simply like just understanding, like, listen, that's what we're also here for that. And sometimes the jealousy is that we can do that for ourselves. We can literally create doors into different dimensions and different lives without permission and without needing anyone else. Because the androgynous spirit begins with us. And it's not a hierarchy thing. It's not putting men down, because I love men and we need men, and men are women too. Okay, we all know that when we have that androgynous part of ourselves activated, no matter whether you're male or female, you have access to certain parts of your feminine and access to certain parts of your masculine. So I'm not that feminist person trying to say, hey, women are the best or we are the end all be all. No, but we do have, because of DNA and because of what we call receptors and projectors, we just happen to have the energetic equipment and the physical equipment, but the energetic equipment for allowing things, because that's just how our bodies operate. So energy goes in different directions. If you are familiar with Tesla and the AC code of alternating current versus the direct current, he was an alternating current person. He understood the directions of energy, which is how you create free energy, quite literally. And I'll get into the Tesla conversation during the class, because I understand everything that's going on with like what Tesla was trying to build, why he died poor, because of what he knew and because the world wasn't ready for any of that, and how Tesla really is a time traveler and he does not give a fuck. And he's still here. Woman's body, male's body, doesn't matter. He knows how to grab and go. So there's just a lot about Tesla that I understand, a lot even about Elon taking over the Tesla company. I understand the mind of a person like that understands the direction of energy. So if you take a negative and a positive, it doesn't matter whether negative wants to be the positive. It's not, though. It's a negative. So therefore, it has the negative flow. Negative does not mean bad. I'm speaking in magnets right now, magnetics. So the negative goes in one direction, positive goes in the other. Positive wants to be negative. It can't be. It's fucking positive. So this is what we are when we have all of the crystalline and the crystals inside of our bodies, the copper inside of our bodies, the water inside of our bodies. Everything is biologically attached to the energetic flow. So we're like walking spaceships, walking cars, You can either be a bike, a car, a fucking like van, a Jeep, a truck, a house. You could be whatever entity you want, but either way, you're going to have either that either or situation based upon your biology first. And then your mind comes in and customizes what your biology is doing by default. So there's a lot of people just wanting to be other things that they're not. So therefore, they have to hijack or manipulate the thing that is the thing that they want to be in order to get what they want. So that's where things get complicated. But we're not going to get too complicated because we're coming back to Marilyn for a second, because I was speaking on doors. The reason why she couldn't have her child physically, if this was a real thing, because again, most of this stuff, especially in Hollywood, is all metaphysical, it's because she can never really escape herself. So it was always a fail. It was always a fail. She always aborted mission, quite literally. Aborted mission, abort mission, abort mission. Marilyn cannot go beyond what this role is in her life. She cannot go off path from what we planned for her as Masons of her, as being her masonry handling crew. She cannot go beyond this masonry grid. So therefore, abort mission. And that's what, quite literally speaking, because at this point in the game, to those who are aware enough, you know what I'm saying. And it's time to get quite literal at this point, because we are at a point of emergency right now. Anyway, it's time to stop the shit with the secrets and all that. It's bullshit. Like we're ready to move on. We're ready to go based upon resonance instead of role picking. And Marilyn, she just didn't break the rules enough. She didn't break the rules enough, which is why she died. She died because she wasn't rebellious enough. So this is the thing, the rebellious spirit is awakening. And I believe that because she was owned and because she was a product, she will always be that, have that life. I don't know what age she died, 34, 35 or something like that. But that will always be her beginning and end from birth to 30 something years old in her looping memory. She will never go beyond that because she never allowed herself to birth through. So when you get to that point of not allowing yourself to rebirth when it's time, then you are trapped in time. And a soul or a spirit like Marilyn is trapped in time. So there are points where there are calls for help from the spirit itself. Someone said Tesla didn't die poor. Yes, he did not. He didn't die what he fucking deserved, fucking like die with. Anyway, so the thing about this is that there's always a point of survival, even for what we call ghost loops and memories. And some people think that memories are just memories, but memories are sentient. Those are what you would call ghosts or even demons, because they have visions, they have experiences. No, we don't ever stop having experiences, ever. So if you are trapped in an experience or in a loop that is traumatic or redundant, because even being in a safe loop, being rich, being wealthy, being beautiful, and being who you are, if you do that enough, that becomes numbing, and that's not enough. So that can actually become torturous to the soul, like just being the same thing all the time. So a lot of the spirits are looking for redirection or escaping from their looping. And nobody, I don't know if people are listening or not, but these actual entities are like saying, hey, like, don't you see like what they're doing? They're trying to basically recreate the same fucking archetype again. You know, and the thing about imagery as well is a thing. Every time I go into some kind of fucking restaurant, there's a picture of Marilyn in the fucking bathroom. And I have a thing about that. I'm just like, it's weird seeing pictures in the bathroom sometimes, like pictures of people in the fucking bathroom. I have a thing about that. I would never put somebody's picture in the bathroom. But Marilyn's infamous for being in the bathroom. She's in damn near every fucking bathroom. She's watching you while you take a piss. She's watching you while you take a shit. She's watching everything. Her essence is there in your wasteland. She has to accept that, right? You know, things like this actually affect the soul. It affects the spirit, like imagery, art, having pictures and likeness images of people. You know, this is how, like, I'm not for this shit because I don't do stuff like this, but people who manipulate other people through the imagery, through casting certain spells and shit. I don't do stuff like that. I don't have to, but there are people who do. And they'll literally just take a picture of you, put you somewhere in their house, and somehow your actual body or person will actually like pick up on the shit that's going on that you're watching through the picture, through the frame. Because there's actual eyes that are alive in all photos. That's why a lot of the Native Americans and so on, they did not want you taking photos of them because the spirit lives in photos. Those eyes are real. Those eyes are actually capturing and looking and seeing what's going on wherever it's placed and is sending direct messages to the actual person, whether dead or alive. So every time I see Marilyn, I'm like, damn, they just have her in the bathroom. Maybe she likes being in the bathroom. I don't know. Like, I like taking pictures in the bathroom. Bathroom is a great place. Where would we be without the bathroom? Right? So all I'm saying is she basically was sabotaged in a sense of being able to, or being blocked from being able to progress onwardly. So as I was speaking on the kings and having sons and so on, when you have daughters as a woman, it's very important to see your daughter as yourself. A lot of us, when we have children young, we don't understand this. And sometimes we are in conflict with our daughters because of it, because we still have that inner conflict with ourselves. So then we have to repair the relationships and grow through shit. But if you are a conscious mother and you know you are having a daughter, the thing about having a daughter is that she is your beacon of light for the next life. So make sure you treat her as if you wanted, or in how you want to be treated, quite literally and figuratively. And I'm not leaving out the sons. What I'm saying is that that's a specific direct connection that they kept from the feminine archetype eons ago, or took that information and hid that. It wasn't just for the kings. It was for everyone, a male or female child. If I have a daughter, I know that I have direct access to the afterlife through her, and I can make promises through her. It's kind of like taking out a loan on a potential life that you have created, that you can actually have access to while you're still alive. You don't have to die. And that's how you allow yourself to hang on to legacy without having to die to get it, or to receive results or rewards from legacy. So a lot of women who have given birth to daughters just know that you know, it's when they took the daughters away back in the day, when they took the daughters away from the mother, what it did was it blocked the mother from moving on in that current life and for the next life. So if she died, she didn't have any passageway through to continue in that memory lane. So she would just be, you know, there's the recycling of shit. She would just be tossed anywhere, just like data and information, because nowadays that's all the soul is data and information. So your data and information is redirected somewhere that you didn't fucking agree to, because you're just data and information. You're owned, right? Nowadays, especially with the technologies that we have and all the information that we're putting in and offering up, we don't have say so usually if we're not aware enough on where we travel to when we're not in our current bodies. Where the fuck do we go? So when you have children, sometimes that is your ticket, and no one else can take that ticket. It's just like, I have a daughter, she came through the portal, and I'm my own door, therefore that's my light when I leave this place. So I'm going to make sure that when she continues her life, I'm there to also continue it with her, and the legacy continues on. So that's specific planning versus random reincarnation lottery shit, you know? So it all depends on where you're going. So Marilyn couldn't have children at all because she was way too suppressed and restricted and limited in her ways out. And I believe there's a part of her that wanted to do more than what she did, do things in a different way. And she was highly expressive and sensual. And after a while, that shit became illegal. So we can't even accept that energy now, which is a whole other conversation, which I don't want to have here. This is a conversation that I want to segue into the classes, and speaking on specific energies that are restricted from even existing in this realm now. And hold on for 1 second. Let me see something. Before I look into the comments. Let me go to my website real quick. And again, you can go to Liberated Pen if you wanted to. And, you know, I already explained like the thing behind the name. You know, most women, we don't have pens. We don't have penises. So you have to grow one. And that's just how you use your creativity, is you just grow a pen. But it has to be an authentic pen. That's what it is. Pen is basically just having a fucking penis and being able to create and project and write your own story, and also be the receptor of that and receive your own writings and experience your own manifestations. Holy shit. That shit is illegal as fuck. We can't do that. We need somebody else to write for us so that we can live in that fucking projection. You know, and that shit is played out because there's a lot of liberated women who are not just fucking Liberty, the fucking Freyer free motherfucker. Like, she has intelligence, she has beauty, she has sexuality, she has mother like tendencies, she's nurturing, she's a little girl, she's a teenager, she's a boy, she's a girl, she's a man, she's a woman. She's literally everything, and she's whatever she wants to be and whatever the situation calls. And I don't understand why shit is so threatening. But let me go to this for a second. Hold on. Let me look in the comments and see if anybody has any questions, or what are you guys saying about what I'm saying? I don't know. The metaphor is so true. I know that feeling. A girl I knew was preggo, a star fell into me, a star is born. It's overrated being a star. Like, there are certain people who are already stars. So there's a difference between a star that was trained to be a star versus a star. Like, I'm talking about the celestial motherfucking like energy. I'm a star. I'm a star. I know that I am. And because I have the magnetic frequency of a fucking star, like quite literally, I'm like a walking planet. I attract and also repel, and I project and receive like a planet. That's how like crazy my magnetics is. I'm a star. I can implode, I can explode, I can influence. You know, this is why I wanted to talk about at another time. I'll actually add that to the curriculum, talking about Sirius A and Sirius B. The actual usage of that in our bodies. We have Sirius A and Sirius B within us, the absorber and the broadcaster. Sirius B is a broadcast, Sirius A is an absorber, like a fucking sponge. So there's an art to that, and you have to be able to learn how to change the channels within your body to make sure that you're not absorbing too much shit, and to make sure that you're not broadcasting like shit that you don't want to broadcast. Like, you have to have control over your own Sirius A and Sirius B. How do you do that? How do you know whether you're over broadcasting, under broadcasting, broadcasting lies versus the truth, absorbing other people's shit while they take the clean shit and you take the dirty, like filtering anything, filter water. Anything that is a filter, there has to be something that collects the dirt, that collects the unwanted things so that you can drink clean water. So there's one side that is clean water, and there's another side that has all the shit that nobody wants. So what happens with people who are the collectors of the shit that nobody wants, somehow magically those people just know how to alchemize that shit and turn that shit into stuff that people actually want. Like garbage collectors and shit, they'll fucking, you hear the story of Basquiat. He collected garbage on the streets of New York City and turned that shit into art because he was supposed to be a garbage collector for motherfuckers. He was supposed to be the one to take the shit. But what he did is he turned shit into gold and turned gold into cash. And then, of course, he got grabbed up in the fucking system. Like, this motherfucker can't be independent. He's way too powerful. He knows how to turn shit into something valuable, and he has no handler. And this is the problem. It's just like every time they see somebody that knows, that has the natural ability to do that, they want to snatch him up. And like, and this is why I wanted to go through the class of maybe I just need to just put the real name of the class there, which is Sex, Gin, Demons. Is basically they're getting genies in the fucking bottle. Like they're capturing people and energies and storing them somewhere, and they're like juicing them out and using their fucking energy to maintain their lives. So when you look at all the stupid ass Disney shit, right? When it comes to genies and shit, you find a lamp. If you find a lamp that can grant you the wishes, not just 3 wishes, but all the fucking wishes, what are you going to do with that lamp? You're going to take that shit and you're going to be like, this is mine, like forever. I don't give a fuck what's in that lamp. I don't care what entity or soul is inside of that shit. I don't care what they want. I don't care where they came from. This shit is mine because this shit gives me what I want. Somehow. I don't care how it works though. I don't give a fuck how it works. Every time I rub the lamp and something genie comes out, and then I ask for some shit and genie grants it, That's all I need to know. I don't give a shit about the actual genie. I'm not questioning how that motherfucker even got inside the lamp. So when we're talking about like real magnetic energy, real star-like energy, real impactful and influential energies, it doesn't matter how many followers you have, doesn't matter whether you're a celebrity or not, people recognize that. And they either take advantage, manipulate it, or they admire it and collaborate with it. So there's a difference when you see that type of person, because not everybody's that person. Everybody doesn't get that fucking privilege. But when you see that person, you collaborate and say, hey, like, if we collaborate, we can create some dope shit. Like, I really admire how you do this, and I can't do that, but I do this, and maybe you can like learn from this thing, and we can like do something. We can create a hybridized fucking experience. That's different. That's people who are not trying to entrap a solar energy against its will. That solar energy has a choice in the matter and says, hey, I like you too. I'm glad you're admiring me. Hell yeah, let's work together. Let's do this thing. Let's be together. Let's be friends. But for some reason, that's a dying breed. That's why I listen to nothing but like 80s music. Because back then, they fucking appreciated each other in that sense of collaboration. But now we have a lot of jealousy. We have a lot of people playing games where we live in a gamer world. Motherfuckers don't care about living at all. They don't care about life. They want to play life. They don't want to live life. That's the difference. So it's like, I'm an old soul in a sense where I like living life. Like, I like music. I love to dance. I love creating. I love like meeting people. I like doing like human shit. And everybody, it seems like a lot of people are just, what is the algorithm telling me about myself? Like, the algorithm has turned into a fucking oracle. Everybody's checking their fucking like social media just to see and validate themselves. And they don't even look up and just look at another person and interact instead and like create something else that is layered and that has nothing to do with data collection. So nowadays, everything has turned into data collecting, gaming, right? That's why the currency is going in the direction it is through like the digital, which is a great change. And it gives a lot of opportunity, but it takes a lot away from actual value though, because that level of currency is only based upon what somebody says it's based on. It's not backed by anything tangible. If somebody influential gets on and says, hey, this coin, this fucking like currency is worth this much today, people will buy into it just from the word without backing. And that fluctuates the value of something through coming from just someone else's fucking like plan. And then 2 weeks later, they could say, oh, this is a piece of shit. Don't buy into it. Sell now. And then they do it because they followed them the first time. So then there's this pattern of power that goes into the cryptos and fucking currencies and shit. At least some in the stock market, you know, they at least had commodities and like things that actually like grabbed the value that had nothing to do with what people said necessarily. It was based upon actual like bartering and value to the marketplace. Like, how is this rice valuable to the marketplace? We have proof. So we have proof of how this rice is fucking like being distributed and how valuable this rice is. So guess what? This is a commodity, and this is like a trading of a commodity. It's attached to value. So a person can't come in and say, I'm speaking for rice. No, the rice in the market is speaking for itself, dude. Like, so I'm just saying, like, what are we doing? Where are we going? Are we just listening to air? Are we listening to like nothing and making it something because we just happen to go on Instagram or TikTok? And that's the value right there because that's the thing for today. Like, I don't understand. Like, people are not loyal or they're not like grounded to anything valuable. They'll switch over like in a second. And like the levels of currency balance, people have to be glued to their phones, apps, and computers all day just to watch it. And then it's like, damn, like, don't you want to fucking like go to a bar and have a drink and talk to people, or you want to sit here and watch crypto? Like, what are you doing? Is this money? I'm making money and I don't even have to work, but like you are, like you're spending your time watching something go up and down. And like you're constantly checking on it and you have no awareness of your actual environment. And it turns into another prison, but it's just like, hey, I'm rich, I got all this shit, but like, where's that other part of you, you know? Like, it's a weird place where people are going. And I have a feeling that the actual universe itself, the actual ether, which I am totally for ether, the fucking fifth element, is coming in and just fucking like bringing chaos into all of that bullshit because there's no balance at all. None. The scale is not even there. Everything's just suspended in the air. There's no scale. There's no weight. Nothing even has weight. You can't even weight. You can't even weigh the heart and the feather anymore. Like, we don't even do shit like that for ourselves. Like, oh my God, you have all of this heaviness and no, everything is in the air. And we are very rarely inside of our bodies. There are people walking around, they're floating heads. They're thinking and watching, thinking and watching, thinking and watching. And then they go to sleep and they dream, and their dreams determine their next day anyway, because all the subconscious collection just completely rules the next day anyway. So it's just like, what the fuck are you doing? They want to sit in their home safe and expand themselves. I literally was thinking about all this while I was on the subway in New York City. People are literally inside of the device. They are inside the device. Yeah. So you cannot preach these things to people. You can't convince or convert people to actually be real nowadays because they don't understand what that means, especially a specific type of generation. I'm not a generation hater, but I am of a certain age, even though I look like fucking young as shit, right? I'm of a certain age and I feel young. I feel so young. I'm going to be 25 forever. Let's just say that. But what I'm saying is like, I'm of a certain age where I'm just like, there's literally no direction. Where are you guys going? What is the plan? What are we doing? So there's a regression in, this has been studied, when the brain is not used, when the actual physical brain is not used sufficiently enough, it loses its it eventually loses its actual physical matter because it knows that it's not even fucking used or needed. So then the brains get smaller. And we go back to having pea brains again. We go back to having small brains because the brain gave up. The brain itself said, fuck this shit. You guys are not even doing anything for me. Like, why am I here? You just collect air. All you motherfuckers do is collect data. Like, this comment section right now is rolling, right? I can't see every comment, but my subconscious or my EMP field picks up on everything that's being said in the comment section. So I already know what you guys are saying, and it will be projected to me in my environment somehow. So if any of you motherfuckers are trying to like hate on me or troll me in the comment section, if I'm not aware that that possibly may be happening, you guys might ruin my day tomorrow just from you fuckers commenting in the comment section, because people don't understand the subconscious realm. So you can be fucking bullying me while I think you're supporting me, right? You're in the comment section, you're saying certain things, you're pulling certain strings with words. And then I wake up tomorrow and I'm just like, shit, I'm having a shitty day. Oh, it's actually because if you look back with your conscious mind, you read the comments section, motherfuckers was projecting this shit for you. Like in your subconscious realm, you just didn't see it because you're not checking, but your field is picking up all of it like a magnet, because that's what happens to magnetic people. And that's how they get bullied, because they're so amazing that of course you need to fuck their shit up. So it's just like, yeah, she's gonna have a shitty week. You know, we wish all of these bad things on her, but she won't see them because she can't see. She can't read. She doesn't understand what's going on. She's just talking. It's just like, no. There's a part of my consciousness that's actually reading the comment section, by the way, without reading it. And I'm aware enough to reject, because I have a great automatic filter. So I want to help others gain this great automatic filter, because everybody can't check everything for what everyone's saying. Everyone does not have your best interest in mind. Everything in my environment is influencing me, but I have to be aware enough to know that that is at least happening in order for some kind of change to happen in my environment. Yeah, people can ruin your day. They can be calling you ugly and stupid in these nice words. And then all of a sudden you wake up feeling ugly and stupid. And it's just like, damn, like I was on one last night. I was on one the other day. I was in my bag. Like, what happened? Why do I feel like this? Why do I feel on a decline? Oh, because data and information, Taryn, like data and information, like that's a part of our mind field, our brains. And it's just a part of the world. Like, you know, it's just data. If you're not aware of the data, you can't blame data for being data. So I understand that. So what I want to do, long story short, I brought Marilyn into this because she cut her life short because she wouldn't allow herself to rebirth, because she was waiting for daddy. Okay. She was waiting for daddy. Every time she tried to leave, if you watch even the movie again, if you fucking watch it again, you see that that is what is it's revolved around. She turned back into a little girl every single time. Every single time she was maturing. It's just like, no, you're getting too mature. We got to fucking call in the sentinels and shit and like bring the letter in, bring her back into her subconscious self and have her dream up a life that she's not even interested anymore, because we can do that to her subconscious mind. So one of the things that I have that I wanted to bring up is, hold on for a second. And I'm just winging it right now. Hold on. I'm gonna change it. So the name of the class is Portals of Light Through Darkness. I'm gonna change it to Sex Gen Demons, because that's just what it is. You motherfuckers just need to stop like being afraid of these words. I say the word Satan, I say the word Lucifer, I say the word God and Jesus and all these words, buzzwords. There's something in you that has a reaction to it. And it's just like, get over it. Like, you are all of that though. You know that, right? Like, you have an inner demon that lives inside of you. It is on your bottom half. It is below the heart chakra. Do you not feel horny sometimes? Do you not feel pain? Do you not feel emotion? Like, let's stop acting like these entities don't exist inside of us, first of all. So yes, demon, a day moon, a daytime moon, a moon in the day. When you look in the sky, you still see the moon in the daytime as well as the night, but you never see the sun at night. A day moon, a motherfucker that lives in the day and night. So get to know it, because it's actually more all-knowing than what you call the upper stairs or heaven or all father God. Like, God only knows the sun. God only knows the light. God only knows the good things. He does not want to be bothered with the other things, so he tosses it in the trash. But guess what? The trash actually has a consciousness itself and knows more than God, but doesn't want to call itself God because it doesn't have a God complex. Do you understand what I'm saying? So we need to listen to the trash. We need to listen to the underlings that are not up above watching in the bird's eye view of all things and making things like fucking like detailed and separated all the time. But a part of us that actually feels and doesn't, we don't even have to express through words. It is my upper half right now that is expressing in words. But what I feel, I can't express. But it's real and it has a consciousness. And I want to get to know it so I can translate the best that I can. But this part of myself does not want to translate at all. It has no interest in you knowing what it wants. That is my business, right? So you want to get to know your own inner demon. So I'm going to change this shit because I'm going to stop being afraid of writing certain words and saying certain things because people are fucking accuse you of being a witch or a motherfucker that like wants to like wish death on people. And it's just like, no, I'm just bringing life to a certain part of consciousness that has already been dead. Like the reason why motherfuckers don't want to deal with that part of themselves is because it is of the dead realm. Oh my God, you don't deal with the dead. Oh, the dead is just memory. And it's actually like feeling something. So in the class, what I'm going to speak on is the history of the jinn, the genie, or the inner demon. There's a history behind these specific types of beings. I'm going to talk about how jinn are created, yet sometimes used and abused by those who cannot produce such energies. So there's a whole circuit on people that actually use other people's jinn. They use other people's demons because they're so afraid of their demon. But they'll use another person's demon and claim it as their identities because there's a filtration system in place. So they take the valuable stuff and then they leave a person that produces that energy with shit. The power of the blue-black being and their coexisting roles with humans. There are beings here that are blue-black, blue and black, shadowy and blue. Avatar is coming out. I saw the trailer. Yeah, but real blue beings, not fucking Avatar like shit. Not the program shit, but like blue people, like real blue people and real black people. And I'm not talking about the race of black or African American even. There are black people as black as my shirt. There are black entities as black as my shirt. And there are blue entities as blue can be. And they exist right here. They are directly parallel to our world and they interact with us. Who are they? So we're going to discuss that. The bridging the gap from Atlantis to Earth. How do these two-dimensional perspectives build our future for legacy and progression for life? So I told you guys a couple of videos ago that there's a part of ourselves from the ancient time that goes beyond our ancestral self that is trying to get home. And there's a bunch of garbage that no one wants to put out or no one wants to clear. So they're blocked from coming home. And when you block a part of yourself that's trying to come home so that we can go home together, like all of us can fucking go home, then sickness happens, despair happens, depression happens. When you're separated from a part of yourself that is trying to get back to you, but is blocked by ancestral bullshit, you get sick. You actually can get physically sick or really fucking mentally disturbed. Because that is a part of yourself that is missing, that is needed to connect to the actual DNA, to the actual cells. It is information transfer. A part of yourself that planned for an afterlife that can't get through because there's too much garbage, guys. How do we clear the garbage? How do we connect? How do we detach from what we don't need to be attached to anymore, ancestrally especially? Also, with the ancient, will the ancient ones return to their sentience, or will the true demon return to their sentience? And should they be allowed to, or is it too dangerous to release such power? There are entities that are afraid for actual sentient, chaotic power to be released. So they need to control the releasing. It's like a disbursement. And the question is, when do we ever allow chaos to allow itself to come through? And the more you prolong chaos from coming in, the worse it gets. But guess what always happens? Chaos always makes it through because it's chaos. So you either got to prepare for chaos or you need to collaborate with chaos. So what do you choose? Because chaos is coming. You can't stop chaos from not coming. It's like giving birth to a child. For those who have actually fucking given birth, you know what it feels like. You can't stop it. Your body automatically, even without your mind being involved, your body knows what to do and pushes that child out because it needs to go. And anybody that tries to stop that process stops chaos, stops life itself from entering into the world. And I told you guys there's a story that I know in my family where she was having her child, and because the doctor wasn't in the room when she had to push, the nurse pushed the baby back in and said, "You have to wait until the doctor comes." And literally the head was coming out and she pushed the head back in. And guess what happened? The baby got brain damage. She fucked the baby up from trying to push it back into a world that it was trying to leave. So there's an energetic thing like that happening. There are controllers that are pushing spirits back, causing a lot of damage, not only in that world, but in this world. They don't fucking understand shit about energy, like real energy, because they're so afraid of it. Instead of just allowing it to come through and take place and create fucking beauty, they're afraid of beauty. So that's the problem. If you feel empty right now, if you feel like shit, if you're bored with your life, it's because of that. It's because they won't let you bring your chaos in. It's wrong. It's illegal. It's wrong. It's too much data. It's too heavy. We live in the metaverse. You guys didn't know that? Like we live in the meta. Okay? So like there's too much data connected to that chaos. We can't hold it. We don't have enough fucking gigabytes. And the chaos is just like, fuck your gigabytes. We create space too. Move out the fucking way. We create space. Fuck you and your metaverse. When we come into a space, we create more space, you stupid fuck. Move, you fucking techie. Get the fuck out the way. Or else we will destroy your fucking world. Because we have no choice to. We have to come through, you stupid motherfucker. Excuse me if I'm getting like crazy right now, but I'm feeling the fucking emotions of ourselves trying to come through. This is how they see us. They see the people who are controlling this as children. They're like fucking 8-year-olds running the world. All they care about is room and space and data from what they create through code. And they don't understand that there's a whole other code called chaos that does not operate on ones and zeros at all. It operates in spirals and fucking design that they can't read. So because they can't read the hieroglyphs, because they can't read the fucking ancient fucking shit, they get scared of it and they try to fucking kill it. That's what happens with these fucking techies right now. Elon's not a part of that shit. He's not. He's actually for the shit. I can speak on that shit for some reason. I can. Some reason I have fucking authority to say shit like that. So there we go. That's the discussion. That's the class. That's the class. But it's personalized. I'm not here trying to sell shit, really. I'm just trying to like make things like more like impactful for those who are actually interested. I'm here speaking to you on this public platform, but I need people who are actually interested in going further in the details of their own lives to allow this to happen, because we're all connected on that other side. So if we connect in a different space that is more private, where we can discuss things personally, because I'm having a general discussion right now. When I have these sessions with people, there's so many personal, intricate details that are ancestral and metaphysical that actually make room for us and create more room for like literally like more space. And it's just like, wow, like if more of us actually like gathered in this connection, we can actually override meta rules and create more space. So they can't tell us that our fucking memories are too heavy. Oh, I'm too old to be here. I have too much memory. So I have to, you want to kill me so that you can wipe me clean, so that I can come through with like no fucking memory for your fucking metaverse, for your fucking data bullshit, instead of me actually living on in my legacy that was promised to me by me and through me. So these motherfuckers are trying to kill people like me. They're trying to literally get rid of us because our data is we have too much data. And it's just like, you don't know what art is. You don't know what music is. That's where the data goes. It goes to creation of art. It goes to like shit that we can't fucking duplicate. Like it has to come from a chaotic space. Music is not even the same now. Movies are not the same. Everything is a duplicate. Everything is programming. Everything is all about data. So they have no choice. There is no like bargaining or negotiating on chaos. Because when a motherfucker is ready to come through the door and they have all rights to, and they actually created the door in the first place, and they created the world that they fucking trying to get to, guess what? They're going to fucking make it. So I don't know. I'm not here. Like I said, I'm not a terrorist. I'm not bringing shit here. But what I'm saying is it's coming. That's it. I'm a messenger at this point. I'm not making it happen. I'm a messenger at this point. So that is what I'm saying. That is what I'm saying. So anyway, I'm going to read a few more comments and I'm going to get off here because I think I've been on here long enough. Hold on for a second. Hold on. The comments are coming in really fast. So many people feel like they're in limbo. Yes, Bobby. Thank you for saying that. That is what it feels like. People are in limbo. They don't know what the fuck they're doing. They really don't know what's next at all. And even when you try to manifest something, it's not coming into fruition because there's programs that actually reject. It literally says yay or nay to like your mind manifestation shit. It's just like, damn, like people from back in the day who read The Secret and understand like at least certain laws of attraction, those fucking laws don't even abide through this fucking new universe or whatever the fuck you want to call this digi world. That shit doesn't even apply. You can't even listen to The Secret and abide by it and get the same results because they changed the fucking code. And I don't see the world as digital, but I understand coding. You know what I'm saying? There's it's like a language. Coding is just a language They only know one fucking language. They don't understand that there's so many other codes that are so much more expansive that can actually collaborate with the one code that they know. So it's just like, get over your fucking egos. You fucking like just at these fucking cubicles, just planning for a future full of emoji motherfuckers. Like they only want to create avatars. Like metaverse avatars have no bottom half. I don't think they're ever creating bottom halves for metaverse motherfuckers. Do you know that code actually affects us? If your avatar in the metaverse does not have legs, then you have no fucking legs. Therefore, you're fucking paralyzed from the waist down. So you don't have sex. You don't feel anything. You're numb. You're emotionless. That is exactly what they're doing with the code. They're reversing the code. So what you see in the metaverse is, oh my God, nobody cares about shit like that. They just want to create their avatars. I'm looking at these avatars. I'm like, yo, that code, because I understand coding, that code is literally pinging to this world, this dimension that it's forming with. It's actually fucking merging with this fucking dimension. That code is literally affecting our bottom half. And it is literally making us paralyzed from the bottom down. So that they're turning everybody into air fucking beings. So guess what happens to the quote unquote demon or the quote unquote side of you that actually exists in the bottom half? They die. And guess what? Your inner demon does not want to die like any other fucking sentient being. So it's gonna fight. So these motherfuckers want to fight demons. That shit ain't got nothing to do with me because I accept mine. I love my fucking demons as much as I love my angels. And that's why I'm a whole fucking person. I have legs. This shit sounds crazy to some of you guys, but like, it's real if you understand coding and you understand the backlash of timing and how it subconsciously affects us. Yeah, somebody said DNA is code. Remember when you spoke on the solstice portals? How do you feel about that now? I feel the same way, Fred. They're real portals of time. Like, it's kind of like gaps. It's kind of like the solstice times, the equinox and solstice times are like off grid. It's kind of like when somebody turns off the light or turns off the power for like 10 minutes. And when that power is turned off, shit goes crazy. The alarms turn off, everything turns off so that you're off grid and you can rearrange yourself before the shit turns back on, right? So that's what a solstice kind of energy is like. So what I'm saying is that you turn that fucking switch off on a solstice, what's happening in the dark? Motherfuckers are scrambling. That is the time to get in your lane and do what you need to do, mind, body, soul wise, so that when it closes, when that door closes, you have all of your code with you. You have all of your code. It's really about code. But again, I don't see the world in code. The whole problem with these techies that are obsessed with coding in that way is that they don't appreciate the life that is here. They only see code. They only see avatars. They only see information. They don't see life. So they're kind of like the zombies, actually. They're the fucking zombies. We are the technology. Well, yeah, but don't you want to get to know like the real part of your technology though? If you're blocked off from getting to know it because it's illegal, because they don't understand the shit. It's just like, bitch, because you're 8 years old, that's why. Because you're 7, I don't fucking know. That's why. I'm like fucking it's like having a 500,000-year-old motherfucker talk to a fucking 7-year-old. Don't talk to me. You can't tell me what to do with my data because you don't even know what the shit is in the first place. So we have children, like literally new souls downloaded from the fucking cloud that have not lived enough to even have enough memory to tell motherfuckers like me what to do. Listen, somebody said Elon's a techie. There are techies that understand, that are able to hybridize. Okay, this is what I'm saying. There are hybridized motherfuckers that understand technology, code, and they want to live. Do you understand that we need both? I would not be able to speak to you guys right now without technology, or I would have to fucking mail you guys letters and shit. Okay, so I appreciate technology. A lot of the quote unquote bottom half people or types of entities appreciate what's going on up top. Like we have no beef or no like fight with technology and progression in the building of the world in that way. They have problems with us. Do you understand? It's a one-way problem. That's why I say we are all encompassing, because we appreciate the upper half as much as the lower half. They only appreciate the upper half. They only appreciate the mind space. They don't care about the body, because you could create one anyway on a fucking program. Okay, so that's the difference. If you have a two-way, this is the difference between DC and AC. Tesla going both, like up and down, both sides, both poles working with each other, that can create a self-sustained person, versus direct current that only goes one way, that says this is the only way. It sounds like religion to me. This is one way and the only way. Tesla was like, no, there are like multiple directions actually, but the two that we're going to focus on are the two oppositions that actually work with each other and create a friction that actually creates energy. It's called it's fucking sexual energy. When you have sex, you have friction, right? Are you rubbing together? Aren't you rubbing fucking body parts together in opposite directions, motherfucker? Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, it doesn't take a lot to fucking understand what the hell is going on with energy, dude. It really doesn't. Listen, I'm not here to talk about Elon personally. Some of y'all are talking about upper half and lower half. I don't know anything about that specifically. I just know how to sense certain people, and I can sense that I actually think he believes on both sides. That's all I'm saying. That's it. So do you remember your past lives? I actually do. They're parallel with this one. So it's not hard to grasp past life activity at all. The binary code. Yeah, people don't even want to date each other. I don't know what they're doing with dating. I have no idea. I don't know. So is this connected to the galactic war people are always talking about? Yes, this is the galactic war. It's chaos versus extreme detailed control. People who just want to control. Like, at least back in certain times in our history, there was space for chaos. They expected chaos. Sometimes they went to war with chaos, but they knew chaos had to come through. But to completely stop it and obliterate it is literally obliterating a part of ourselves. It's like blasting off half of the body. And you won't know it. So even when a person loses a limb, they still have a sensation that they still have it. How do you know? Like, your mind has to create the muscle memory to make sense of something that may actually be gone. So they want to the whole point is they can't get rid of this energy at all. It's like they're trying to figure out how to kill energy when you can't. That's the ultimate thing. Like, how do we kill? Okay, so we can't kill them, but how do we clean them and control them? So if you've watched the movie Equals, if you guys watch Equals, it's a movie where it's literally illegal to have feelings. So you can't fall in love, you can't kiss, you can't like fuck, you can't have a great, like, you just have roles and work, like it's illegal because they feel that feelings bring upon war. Feelings bring upon destruction. So to keep things safe, they give you vaccinations to suppress emotion and feeling towards another person. And that is their solution. That's their fucking solution. And I'm like, that's not a solution. That's you're fucking like, you're killing people. Like, you're not, what are you doing? And to me, that's a part of the plan. It's just like, they don't want people to feel anything because feelings bring chaos. Everything that you feel brings a point of chaos. So chaos is the main enemy, but chaos is also the creator of life. So if you want to call somebody God, that is not a body, it's just an energy. It's chaos. That's it. And chaos does not require prayer. Chaos does not require your fucking worship. Chaos just is what it is. And that's it. It exists. Anyway, I'm going to end here. So here's the thing. I'm not going to make any more YouTube videos. This is the last video I'm making. This is it. I don't think I have anything else to talk about here on YouTube because I've said enough. So if you guys want to actually like be serious about joining in on creating and building through real chaotic masonry, not fucking false masonry and old school thinking type shit, but like if you're a true mason, male or female, and you enjoy building for yourself and for others, and you feel like you have no space to be creative enough with your levels of masonry, I'm speaking on a whole other level here, then come see me. That's it. You book a session, talk to me, book a class, come join in on whoever is involved, and we can have these open discussions on more detail on how to personalize these principles. I'm no preacher. I'm nobody's teacher. I just am here to help others, like bring these things out of others. And when we are all in a collaborative space, magic happens, right? Magic happens. Unexplainable shit happens. And that's what I'm here for. I still have hope that people still care about shit like this. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I'm here for. So I'm cutting the YouTube videos. This is my last YouTube video. I'm serious about that shit. I'm not making a big deal. Like, you can book or not. You can like help me, support me or not. I don't care in that space. I don't care about being popular. I don't care about showing my face anymore. That's it. I'm not speaking for my health, even though I am speaking for my health, but I have a plan and I need resources for that fucking plan. I need money for that plan. I need support. I need people who actually are like-minded in the sense to actually give a fuck about like 10 years from now. Visionaries, not people that just want to be entertained by my voice, by my face, by my hair, like whatever the fuck. Like, do you understand what I'm saying? And if you do, does it resonate and is it worth investing in? That's all I care about right now at this point, because when I say we're at a point, don't get me into the conspiracy shit. I'll give you one conspiracy thing called a pattern, and then I'm ending this video. All right, one thing on how I'm able to read patterns. We had 2000 come in. We had 99 into 2000, which was a switch over from a specific type of coding to another. It was a code switch, right? This is why they thought 2000, everything was going to shut down. It kind of did. So in the year 2000, we lost someone. And I can talk about this privately in our private group because I'm not going to get too much into this shit on YouTube. Aaliyah. We lost Aaliyah in 2000 on a plane. She went to the Bahamas. She filmed Rock the Boat. She was about to star in The Matrix. Her character's name was Z, which means the end. She was about to take off. She was about to take off in her career. She knew how to dance. She knew how to sing. She was beautiful. She started budding as a woman, blossoming as a woman, I should say, because she was always treated as a child. She was always treated as a cool one. She was a cool chick, the friend. Baggy clothes, thin body. She wasn't like she wasn't the other. She had a role to play. She had to be the cool chick. You have the hot one and the cool one, right? The blue and the red. You have the hot chick and the cool chick. Aaliyah was the cool chick. And then she always had to be paired up with the hot chick who got the dude, right? So Aaliyah was just like, fuck this shit. I'm hot too. Fuck you. I'm hot when I want to be, and I'm cold when I want to be. I'm cool when I want to be. So she created this song called Rock the Boat. And she got in trouble for that shit. Because she went off path, just like Marilyn. Marilyn was the opposite. She was a hot chick. She actually wanted to cool the fuck off. Marilyn wanted to cool off. Aaliyah wanted to get hotter. Did you not see the resolution video? Like she had the snakes, the fucking serpents. You saw both of her eyes, not just one. And she had on fitted clothing. You saw her shape. She looked like a woman, not a girl, right? Fuck, what is she doing? What is she doing creatively? She's going off path. This is baby girl we're talking about. Oh, somebody said August 25th, 2001. Thank you for correcting me, by the way, because that's even more important. Thank you, Fifth Dimension Sean, for correcting me on the date. Aaliyah died August 25th. Let's not get into numerology because we can get into all that shit. I can look at the numbers and see the code. All right. I'm that bitch. I'm that person. August 25th, 2001. She died at the age 22. Right. So she's gone. She was made an example for motherfuckers. It was just like baby girl didn't want to be baby girl anymore. She wanted to be woman. Fuck this shit. We're ending everything. The consequence of that ending of life led into something called September 11th. People don't understand energy. When they try to kill an energy, the shit creates a feedback. It creates a feedback loop. Do you not understand that shit? Her life, people look at her as like, oh, that was just Aaliyah. She was Angel. She was a baby girl. She was a singer. She was just an R&B singer. Oh my God, 9/11 happens a few weeks later. No connection. Oh my God, there was a fucking connection. They tried to kill an energy that they could not kill. She's filmed Queen of the Damned, and a vampire movie, by the way, which she couldn't even complete because she died. And in the movie, she was even sacrificed, right? So when you kill a specific kind of quote unquote demonic, because me and her, we share the same number motherfuckers out there. We do. So when you're on code and cult family shit and they see you as one thing and you try to go outside of that shit, you get in trouble. You either die or you have consequences and shit like that because they want to fucking control you. And she was just like, no, we're not doing this. I'm going to take a chance and express myself the way that I want to about my love and my body. The way that I fucking want to. Fuck you. I'm not the 16-year-old one in a million chick. I'm 22 years old and I'm an ancient soul. And I have shit to say and to sing about and to dance to. And I don't want to dance to this bullshit because this shit is fucking bullshit. Have other things to express. And I have love and sex that I want to have. Fuck you. So basically that's what she was saying and Rock the Boat. She basically, she compared the energy to cocaine. Right? Get a natural high. Even when she had the 106 in Park interview, natural high. Oh, it's just a part of me and energy that, like, you know, when you get a natural high, you know, Aaliyah was just so fucking humble. You know, you get that natural high when you think about that person that you love. So, the Twin Towers, and I'm a New Yorker, all right? And I was there when it happened. Represented literally the twin energy, the number 11. We are in November right now, by the way. Number 11 is fucking 11 building. Fucking 11. One body and another body. One is male, one is female. Yes, I'm not talking about stupid fucking wannabe twin flame shit. I'm talking about real fucking twin energy, like real twin. There's a real fucking twin energy, and I made a fucking video about this shit already. I made it private. Maybe I should make it public again so you guys get the point. Twin energy. And that's what she was going for. She wanted her equal and her above. She was like, fuck this shit. Like, so she wanted her equal, and she never got it because she was always watered down into little girl version. So she had to deal with little boy motherfuckers, like little boy motherfuckers that have mommy issues. And of course they had to go to archetypes like Aaliyah to find love. And Aaliyah was just like, I'm like much older than you and I don't want you. I'm not attracted to you, motherfucker. But according to my role that I got to play, I guess I have to fucking be attracted to you because I might die if I'm not. So fuck you. I guess you're forcing me to fucking be with you, you asshole little boy who's supposed to be a man. So what that does to the spirit of a true woman, more than a woman, what that does to the fucking spirit of a woman is it kills her spirit. She's just like, what the fuck? I'm tired of dealing with these little fucking boys that don't understand women's bodies. They don't understand the mind of a true woman. They don't understand sensuality. They don't understand sex. They don't understand anything. I'm not satisfied. What the fuck am I here for? Oh, but the cult family says you have to because that's your role and that's your number. Right? So then she's just like, fuck this shit. I'm talking to my twin. Whoever her twin was, she had a fucking twin. She had an energy that she was connecting to. She was talking to him. That's illegal. That's terrorism. Because what happens when two twins get together, like actual twin energies, actual equals that can actually play different roles, like all the way around 360, right? But they start out as twins. What happens is it creates like an atomic bomb type level of fucking energy. It does. It doesn't blow shit up. It just creates chaos. It creates passion. It creates art. It creates unpredictable shit for fucking controlling motherfuckers who are just like, if these two motherfuckers have sex, if they get together, if they even kiss, we're in trouble. Our code is destroyed. She's planning on fucking seeing her twin. We have to kill her and make an example of her. And on top of that, we must, through masonry, we have to make sure that we make the example through a tragedy for the rest of the people. So the twins, they completely destroyed. And then they had the nerve to build something called the Freedom Tower. That is one building. They didn't even fucking put 2 buildings back up. You're not going to replace the 2. Oh, you turn the motherfucker into a hermaphrodite. You turn the one female and the one male that just wants to fucking be together and just fucking like just have synergy and like create balance and shit. You want to create one lonely building called the Freedom Tower. So clearly it's a female. Free Freya. That shit is like a Statue of Liberty 2.0. Okay? That's what the Freedom Tower is. Statue of Liberty 2.0 Freya, but this Freya is male and female. She can't be with nobody but herself. She has to be the lone star. She can't have a partner. They did that shit through masonry. They're just like, fuck this. This energy is going to always be alone. Always. Enjoy your freedom. Enjoy your freedom, twin. Because this is what we are. This is what it is. You're going to be one forever. A one forever. The fool, motherfucker. Number 1 is the fool. Unless you got a 0 after it. You got a 0 after it. Then you create value out of the fool. Right? Oh, but then when you go to the Twin Towers, I didn't even recognize that shit has like and on this date last year, and I can post it on my Instagram, I went to today is my daughter's birthday. Last year on my daughter's birthday, something told me to go to the World Trade Center. I was in Harlem. This time last year, I was in Harlem. And I was just led to the fucking World Trade, and I'd never been there ever since it went down. I haven't gone to the actual area. I went to the memorial. You know the game Jacks, you know, with the ball and the X or whatever. So they have the X with 4 fists, and then they have the planet Earth next to each other. Right there, right in front of the Freedom Tower. And I'm like, wow, this symbolism is crazy. And the shit looks like a pyramid from my perspective. So it's a pyramid. Yo, they're using this shit as a portal. They're fucking like portaling through the fucking Freedom Tower for this shit. They really they using the fucking free. So anybody that resonates with the twin energy or the androgynous energy as a female, not as a male, because men, the hermeticism with the male family, they got it good. Like they've already built their fucking brotherhood. Like they have this shit. They can be androgynous. That's the whole point. Like they have permission to be androgynous. Women cannot be androgynous. That is the rule. So they've literally made an example. So it's a feminine androgynous energy. And what happens to the feminist androgynous? She's used as a portal. She's used. She's not used for her androgynous abilities. One part is turned off and the other part is controlled. Right? Locked up and controlled. Planet Earth. So all I'm saying with that is that the reason why I brought up Aaliyah, she was about to take off on her career and literally took off on a plane. I don't think anyone has ever spoken about Aaliyah on this level, though. That's what I'm saying. You guys fucking question me. Right? So she takes off on a plane, a small plane with like 8 people. And the plane goes down and it crashes. Because the baggage on the plane was too heavy. Do you not understand what that means metaphysically? Fuck what they report in the news. Fuck 3D shit. No. The baggage on the plane was too heavy. She was too ancient. She had too much data, guys. She was too old. She was old to the system. She had to be recycled. She had to be removed. This bitch trying to move on when she can't. We own her. She had too much baggage. The luggage was too heavy on the plane. She wasn't light as a feather, guys. She didn't pass the test. She wasn't light as a feather. That's why she fucking quote unquote died. Have you seen her body? Okay. She even said in one of her interviews that she was into Egyptian mythology. She was obsessed with pyramids and Egypt and all of that. So all I'm saying is right now, and then, yeah, so Aaliyah, 9/11, within a few weeks span, and then the world changed. The entire world changed. Nothing was the same. So you mean to tell me that now 2022, Aaliyah died at 22, right? 22. Right. So you mean to tell me that we just lost a rapper and his name is Takeoff? He's a male, right? This time it's a dude. His name is Takeoff. All right. His name is Takeoff. Aaliyah was about to take off in her career. She took off quite literally and died, and a motherfucker named Takeoff died. Exactly. Fifth Dimension Sean, yes, Akashic Records, Aaliyah. She was associated with Akasha. And when they star you for certain roles, it's because you actually hold the actual resonance of that role. They don't just star people in major roles like that if you don't actually have the resonance. It's like they're actually casting the actual like person from the ancient time, just in a different reincarnation. So yes, you don't get casted as Akasha and not actually have connection to the Akashic records, or actually be connected to Akasha, the archetype. Okay, so no one, that was her role. So Takeoff just passed away, just got murdered, right? You mean to tell me that you guys don't see the pattern that something else is possibly coming? I don't want anything else to come, but I actually do want things to change because I'm tired of shit. So something else is about to motherfucking happen. I'm not predicting it. I'm just looking at the pattern because it's time again. They want to make the example of the twin. So it's just set. I'm not saying he would be the equivalent. They do the same thing to guys that they do to girls in entertainment. They keep them as little boys. Some of them want to mature too. Some of them do not want to rap about the same shit. They don't want to sing about the same shit. They have to be forced to be a specific age type forever. So the same shit with males, men and females in entertainment. So all I'm saying is just prepare for chaos, because what I'm saying is there's always a feedback when they're trying to get rid of an energy that is not supposed to go in a big way. The feedback system, it's like a ricochet. And they can't control it. So they want to do this shit again. So guess what? The world is about to change again. And I'm actually looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to the chaotic change. And I'm actually declaring that I'm going to be on the right side of it, on the side of it that actually benefits from whatever change is coming. Some people are going to fucking not benefit, just like with COVID and all this shit. COVID is not the tragic thing that has happened. You guys are so comfortable with COVID that you think COVID is the end all be all of the thing. And it's not the thing. COVID is just COVID is elevator music. COVID is, and hold up. If you guys are fucking liking my message, I'm not getting any cash apps, nothing. And this is the fucking problem. And I keep telling this shit. I keep saying this shit. This is why this is my last fucking video. You guys are just watching me. You know that my Cash App is in the description. It is at tarenguy. You know my Venmo is at tarenguy. You know my link, Liberated Pen, is right there at the top of the fucking chat. I'm not free. I'm free, but I'm not free. I'm not Freya. I'm not motherfucking Liberty. I'm not fucking Freedom Tower, bitch. I'm not that person. You cannot portal through me, because if you motherfuckers portal through me with no access or permission, you fall into a fucking void. And this is the authority that I'm talking about, of a conscious female motherfucker that is androgynous, that does not deserve to be alone. Because I actually have a counterpart. I have a counterpart. I'm not going to be Aaliyah'd. They're not going to fucking Aaliyah me. They're not going to Aaliyah me. Even though, again, our numbers align. They're not going to do that shit to me. I'm not getting sick and dying nowhere. I'm not fucking getting into a car accident after this message for rocking the boat. I'm not going to fucking get on a plane and die. I'm not going to be poor and left out on the fucking street. I'm not going to be struggling because I rocked the motherfucking boat with this video. I'm not going to be doing any of that. I'm not going to be Aaliyah. And yeah, I can say shit like that because I'm a star. I don't give a fuck. I got 280,000 followers and shit. I don't have 28 million billion motherfucking followers, but I don't care. It's not about followers. It's about resonance. And I don't even believe these numbers anyway. No, people say chill out. No, this is a very passionate message, and this is one of the realest messages you'll fucking probably get. Thank you, Tiara, for sending me a Cash App. And yes, I appreciate it. Thank you. But you guys, I don't want you guys to donate. Like, you don't have to donate to me. I'm not asking for donations for Cash App. What I'm saying is there value here? Because again, what I spoke about in other videos is real value is not appreciated. Real currency is not appreciated. Real currency is locked up in prison while fake fiat motherfuckers are out there making all the money. Right? There's nobody on the internet talking the way that I do. Nobody in the fucking world. There's nobody in this fucking world like me. There's nobody in this world that speaks the way that I speak, that even conveys messages the way that I have and the way that I do. No one can compare to the fucking messages that I fucking bring to you guys. And chaos is getting really fucking angry at the non-value that is being shown to my message. And I will not leave this fucking video until I fucking reach a threshold of some shit. And I mean that shit. And I'm going to pour me some more wine because this is my last fucking YouTube video. And I'm not dying, though. Like, I'm not fucking crashing. I'm not dying. I got more wine here. My charge is at 100%. Still, my computer's not even fucking dying. We could stay here all night. I'm here to fucking make some money and make some shit happen with my life and actually help people with theirs. So do we want to turn this into a fucking telethon or some shit? We got any questions? You send me a fucking Cash App with a real question, I'll spend at least 15 minutes on your shit. I'm not playing because I'm not doing this for my, like, what the fuck? I've been on here for how long? I came on here at like 6:30. It's almost 9 o'clock PST. This shit is Pacific. 9, 10, 11, 12. It's midnight on the East Coast, damn there, dude. Don't send me super chats. I appreciate it. Listen, if you got a question, listen, I don't have to read tarot cards, guys. I have them. Uh-oh, what's this card here? I don't know. What's this? What's this? Is the one at the bottom? I have them. You guys like fucking reading, you guys like paying motherfuckers for tarot readings and shit. I don't need cards because I just know shit. What's my Cash App is at tarenguy. Look, or $ tarenguy. Look, I'm gonna put it right here. Cash App $ tarenguy. There we go. And shout out to those of you who are really actually supporting. And I've sent links to everybody that has sent me Cash Apps. You send me your email, I send you a lot of stuff, like just workshops that I just have for free that I'm not even selling anymore, that actually fucking help people. That's better than any other shit that's out there. Seriously. You send me a Cash App with your email and I send you something, dude. You're not just donating to me. I send you something back that is probably more than what you fucking donated to me, which is fine because you're sending me what you can. Okay? I'm serious. I don't just ask for shit. Like I want to, there needs to be a synergy and a reciprocity thing here. So let's see if anybody has any questions on Cash App. Hold on. I don't know. This is how you got to do things nowadays. This is how you transfer money over, like transfer fucking data and value and shit. I don't know. Bianca, thank you. Bobby, thank you. I appreciate it, Bobby. You always send me. First of all, shout out to Bobby Morgan. Like you always like donate and support every single time. So I really appreciate you and I see you. Thank you. Jam P, thank you so much. Fatima, thank you. Sarah Davis, thank you. Tiara, thank you. Dawn, thank you. Thank you. And it's not even about that. It's just like the shit that I have in my link, Liberated Pen. You know why the name is Liberated Pen? Because I'm literally here to not freeze my motherfucking freeze slaves. Oh my God, I's Harriet Tubman. I's gonna free slaves. Come follow me through the Underground Railroad. And guess what? I'm gonna fucking be at the end of the line while you motherfuckers get all the benefits from me freeing you. Harriet Tubman. Yay. That's not me either. But I'm really trying to help people like break free from their DNA shells because a lot of people's DNAs are locked up in prison. A lot of people don't know they're locked up in prison. I escaped and I'm on the run. I escaped from prison. I was like, fuck you, DNA. You want me dead this year? Really? This year about to end. You want me dead? Damn, that's written in my code? Oh, hell fucking no. I'm a living testimony. I'm supposed to be dead and I'm not. How the fuck she do that? Oh, because I'm collaborating with chaos. That's why. And chaos overrules and overruns the fucking regular code. How? How do you do that? Buy a fucking class then. You want to know how? I'm still looking like this and I am this way and I'm not on the street fucking talking to myself with diagnosed with schizophrenia and all kinds of shit with the shit that I know. I'm quite sane, quite intelligent, quite charming. When first of all, I'm supposed to be out there on the street in them tents in LA. I'm here in LA. I'm supposed to be in them tents right now because my data's too heavy. I know too much. And like, I'm supposed to be coined as crazy and psycho. I'm supposed to be ugly and sick and hungry because that's what happens to beings like me usually by default in the DNA. And I'm just like, listen, dear DNA, this is not happening, by the way. So we're gonna have to like hop timelines. I'm a timeline hopper. I'm a time traveler. I can fucking hop a timeline with the quickness. I can go rogue and end up in another dimension and thrive there. How the fuck do I do that shit? Well, you gotta pay for this shit because I can fucking tell you. Let me stop. Let me calm down and look at the comments. Because if I'm going to be on here, I'm going to be on here. Let me turn my notifications on. Bonzi, thank you. Thank you, Bonzi. And again, send your emails if you're sending Cash App, because I want to be able to gift you something back. If you don't want a gift back and you're just sending it to me, I appreciate it. But I actually want to send workshops out and things to you. So please share your email. And I want to keep in touch. I want to add you to my email list and all of that. Because I plan on having a fucking meetup here in LA first. And I'll fucking travel and meet people. I don't know why I'm shuffling cards right now. I just am. Thank you, Parham. All right. Let me look. Do you have testimonials? Yes, I have testimonials. I listen. I'm good at what I do. I don't even have to beg people to give testimonials to say how great I am. You guys, what's your name? West Coast or Bus? Do you not watch my videos? Do you not know how good I am at what I do? I'm being very arrogant right now. Today's my daughter's birthday, by the way. It's also my birthday too. I'm very much in my ego right now, and I'm okay with it. Do you not know how good I am? When I speak to people, it goes deeper than this because I go into actual personalized things. Do you know that it's very rare to talk to a motherfucker like me? It's very rare to find a person like me to even talk to and interact with. I will not be humble right now. Fuck this shit. Thank you, Faith. Thank you for sending me a Cash App. Bobby, you sent me $1 just to give me your email. I already got your email, Bobby. Thank you. Ashley, thank you. Thank you. Anybody want readings? I'm not here. I'm not thirst trapping. I'm just like, seriously, like, you fuck. Like, I'm just here. I'm telling you, I'm not coming back. But it's not through death. It's through privacy. It's through privacy. I want to do shit private. I got my own fucking group already forming. It's called Eris BC. Before Corona, not before Christ. We got our own group already forming. I'm going live over there. I am offering sessions, personalizing shit. I want to do fucking 2023 physical in-person meetups. You won't meet. I know how to bring people together and have fun. I know how to bring groups of people together and have fun. You go to these boring ass fucking meetings, these fucking people. Thank you, Rachel. Thank you, Rachel, for the Cash App. And thank you for sending your email with it. Yeah. You guys go to these boring ass fucking events. You pay these fucking coaches all this money to tell you to think positive and fucking go visit the fucking angels and go to Starland and fucking practice on your chakras and fucking touch the fucking crystals and shit. You guys pay for shit like that, right? You want to be told that you're going to meet your twin flame tomorrow? That's what you want? You want to pay $100 for me to tell you this shit when I fucking tell the truth? I guess I'm going straight Kanye right now. Fuck it. I'm going straight Kanye right now. I'm crazy. I'm a fucking crazy ass bitch. Thank you, Michael Lang, for your Cash App donation. Thank you for sending your email as well. After I get off of this thing, I'm going to fucking send all the emails back with stuff in your inbox that actually make your life better. Yep. Anything else we want to talk about aside from me just being frustrated and venting? Because I can do that some more, but I don't want to because I actually want to get into subject matter. I see you are a part of the 5%. Italy, Milan, please explain to me what the 5% is. Is it the 5% term or 5%? I don't understand what you're saying. Thank you, Michaela. Thank you. Michaela, I see you. You are actually still a member of the Life Redefined podcast and all of the workshop stuff. And I appreciate you still even supporting and sending Cash App. Thank you, Michaela. I see you and I feel you and I thank you. I know my people, like, and that's what I'm saying. When I have sessions with people, it's very intimate to the point where I know you by name, I know your email, and like you're in everything, you know? Wait, someone, let me look at the, Taryn, have you been on Clubhouse? No, I have not been on Clubhouse since like 2021. Thank you, Carl Scott, and thank you for sending your email. I appreciate it. No, I'm not on Clubhouse. I don't know what's going on there. Last time I was on there, which was about a year ago, everybody was just on there for talking about stuff. Is it still popping? Like, I don't even know if Clubhouse is still a thing. Richard, thank you. Thank you for staying. Why do y'all keep asking her third dimensional matrix questions? Good question. I don't know. You guys can ask me anything right now. 1% sacrifice, virtual reality, 1% sacrifice. I don't understand. That has no context around it. TW, what's the idea world for you, Lucid? What do you keep? What would keep you at peace? Well, we all know that the original peace sign is this, not this, right? This is separation. This is togetherness. And also, even in the bafflement, it's both directions. But so what would keep me together, you mean? Not at peace, but what would keep me together is actually being able to express every part of myself creatively and logically, and being able to manifest what I want through those creative expressions. So even if I'm like super logical or super chaotic, like right now I'm like unleashing chaos, which is fine, but I want to make sure there's always a result intentionally with what it is that I'm expressing. And I always want to be able to be my authentic self no matter what. So I never want to put on a front, no matter who's around, no matter who's watching, what's going on. I'm always going to be myself. And that's what keeps me together at peace, is being able to be my authentic self no matter the environment, no matter the influence. And that's what makes me happy. That makes me happy, like just being myself. That is it. It is so simple. And there's so many multifaceted parts of myself that I like want to explore that shit authentically and originally. If her birthday is today, she's a Scorpion. No, today's my daughter's birthday, and I'm claiming it is mine because I am my daughter. I am my daughter. And my daughter is me. So who's the daughter and who's the mother? I don't know. I don't know if I'm mommy. I don't know if I'm daughter right now. I don't know. And that's the beauty of it. You don't have to necessarily compartmentalize. So yes, my daughter is a Scorpio. What do you think about the fallen? What do you know about de-evolution timeline? Do you understand that that's what materialism and technology is pushing? So for me, the fallen, it's actually inverted. The ascended is the problem. The fallen is what we need. Okay. So as I said, that metaverse type mentalities, or people who are driven to ascend to the mind only. When you ascend, you're going up. That's an upward direction. To go up from, like, to go up is to go to quote unquote heaven, to go to the light, to go to get closer to God, and so on, to cleanliness and all this stuff, which is fine. We need that. However, what we don't have enough of, because we have enough of people ascending, everybody's fucking disappearing into the air. It's like a bunch of motherfuckers just floating into a cloud. And there's a reason why they call it the cloud, through data, as well as the clouds in the sky. Everyone's floating in the clouds. No one's falling. Where are the fallen ones? The fallen ones has weight and heaviness to them. There's some kind of substance. You know, substance has weight. When you have substance to you, you have a story, you have a personality, you have something to contribute. Thank you, Max Hammond. Thank you. And I see you have a question too. So I'm going to read that. But we need more of the fallen. People who are okay with weight. People who are okay with something that can bring them down and anchor them to their realities. So I'm okay with the fallen. I mean, we all know the story of the fallen angels, you know, and that is the story. The angels are actually wanting to fucking fall right now. Like, the angels are like, just listen, we've been up here for way too long with this cloud sky daddy motherfucker. I gotta get down. Thank you, Marie. Thank you. I gotta come down to the world. I want to dance. I want to drink. I want to fuck. I want to do all types of shit and do good for the world at the same time. Goodbye, sky daddy. I'm falling. And I didn't have to clip my wings to fall. I just simply made a decision and I landed instead. So, fallen ones are fine. It's the ascension motherfuckers that are a problem. These motherfuckers, they got people going like, they have people so ashamed of themselves, feeling so guilty about the simplest things. You need to heal this. You need to heal that. You need to be healed. You need to take this medicine, this ayahuasca, all the time, not even once, but like, come back, take more mushrooms, have more psychedelic experiences, heal yourself, be good, be better, cast away those demons. Let us like help cleanse you. And people are falling for that because that's a part of the programming that they're used to. Like, someone telling them, like, I would literally be a millionaire if I was doing that shit, if I was going the other direction. If I was just like, hey guys, like, come on, let's go heal together and let's like get rid of these fucking demons. I would like, more money would be coming in. But because I'm using the word demon, motherfuckers are just like the subconscious is programmed to reject it. So even if your consciousness is just like, yo, I'm actually intrigued. I'm intrigued by this conversation. It makes sense. It's logical. It's not witchery. However, my subconscious is somehow rejecting it because my programming is just way too strong in the ascension program. So I'm going to go watch so-and-so right after this and go support that motherfucker instead. Thank you, Taryn. Thank you for inspiring me to embrace something. But however, I need to like do this other thing so that I can like, you know, like just be good with myself but I understand what you're saying. I feel you, but I'm not going to pay you for like darkness, bringing my darkness out. The fuck I'm paying you for that? I've been trying to get rid of this shit for the past 10 years. Why would I want to revisit that? It's just like, do you listen to music, like real music at all? Do you know that shit only comes from the fucking darkness? Do you know that even like the DNA strands actually resonate to specific tones, and it understands the language of music itself, and you're resonating with that part of yourself when you. So I don't mean to sound so cynical, but I might as well be when I have the chance to, because I'm not this cynical. I'm really not. I'm not this sarcastic, but I'm extremely empathetic, and I know that there's a part of ourselves that is tired of whitewashed, watered down versions of progression. People don't want to do shadow work. You got to become one with your shadow, not ignore it. People don't want to do shadow work. Listen, if you were to book a session, if somebody were to book a session with me and they wanted to really get into shadow work, they would leave that session feeling like they are way more powerful in their shadows. And the word shadow is actually not the word that I want to use, because shadows are kind of like hidden, or shadows and darkness are not the same. So with darkness, everything lives inside of darkness. Everything does. We come from darkness. In the womb, in the amniotic fluid, we are floating around in darkness before we even come out into the light as we are being born. So we're in darkness first. Even before we come into the mother's womb, we've come from our fathers, quite literally and figuratively. We've come from our fathers as little spermites, right? That's dark too. All of it is in the darkness. We're actually mostly in the dark most of the time. So this time that you spend as a sperm cell forming in your father's body, and then as your father is sexually aroused and you are now traveling through your father's body, and then you are now inserting yourself into your mother's body or potential mother's body, it's all dark. And then you got to go through that trip where you got to make it through the fucking fallopian tubes and fucking uterus, and you got to pass the cervix. Do you know from a perspective of a cell how long that is? That can be like 5 lifetimes just from that transfer. Okay? So most of you motherfuckers are from the darkness and you just want to forget it. But if you connect to even those parts of yourself, like the sperm fucking cell, the cells that split in your mother's womb, down to the development into the true being that you are to become in the light, you are 97% darkness, just like the ocean, just like space. It's just like, what the fuck are you scared of? The fuck are you scared of? You come from that shit. There is a limit to light. Light is limited. We only see less than 1% of the spectrum of light. Literally. So even in your own light, you still can't see shit. So this obsession with like, oh, I got to stay away, or I have to place this in a box of some sort. And, but a lot of the time it's the shadows or the darkness that has the secrets. And nobody wants to reveal secrets, right? But we don't have to. We can use the secrets to express other things in other ways, right? So we can, it's like using something pure or an ingredient for something mixing it with other ingredients and creating something else that holds an element or a part of that pureness that you don't have to share. Or you don't have to revisit. You don't have to revisit the exact thing, but that thing can trigger an emotion and a spark if led and inspired by the right person or experience to create some amazing things from that. I don't fully agree with no to ascension, as falling too low leads to confusion. You guys ever wonder why, even with color coding, like I'm building my credit and everything, and I'm seeing my credit go up and the colors are changing. It goes from like red to orange. It literally has the chakra colors. And I tell you, you don't ever want to be in the red or the orange. You check your credit store, you check your credit score. You don't ever want to be in a red or the orange. That's bad. You have bad credit. Your credit goes beyond the green. You have good credit. Do you know what that subconsciously says to our like psyche about our chakras and our bodies? Everything red and orange and yellow is bad. Everything that is green is really good. And everything that is blue and purple are excellent. You have excellent credit because you've made your way up. So that even with the color coding financially, when your bank goes into negative, the shit is red. Negative, whatever. That shit is red, is separated from the blue. That shit is blue or black or some shit. And all of a sudden that shit is negative and that shit is in a red. Red is bad, always. Yet it's the very foundation of our very being. That's how fucked up this matrix is with the color coding. So red is the very foundation of who we are, our root, and it's flashed in our face that you are in the negative or you are very bad for even being in that color spectrum. You wear red lipstick, you're a harlot. Oh my God. You know, like back in the day, like the harlots would wear the red lipstick, or the lady in the red dress. She's trouble. Stay away from the lady in the red dress. She's trouble. She's trouble. So it's always the same shit. And I'm just like, sometimes when you're so high in your head, that shit is bad. You stay in the blue and purple for too long, you will go crazy. But according to society, you're excellent. You're superb. You're supreme. You go to purple, you've reached a crown. You're supreme. You've reached all seven. You've reached the seventh chakra. And I think it's the opposite direction, actually. Or just say that I'm in the upside down, I guess, according to the regular code. I'm like, if the root is the most important part, are you kidding me? When you're born from your mother's womb, that is the seeding and true masonry of your life. How your mother felt about being pregnant with you, how your mother felt about herself. I spoke about this as well. That shit is the foundation of the beginning of your life, dude. That's not important. That's not good to like be connected to the red. So you go up here, it's all programming. It's just code, it's program. It's just like, oh, but you're excellent though. You're excellent. Thank you, Bianca. Okay. So I think I have made my point clear. I don't want to be redundant. I don't want to just be on here You know, sometimes it's hard to say goodbye because I am declaring that this is my last YouTube video. I have enough videos on the channel. I've spoken about a lot. I've made a lot of videos private, and I still have a lot of content. But I don't want to be one of those people that are constantly redundant and just repeating myself just because I want views or people to watch me, or I want to be relevant in a space, because I don't care about that. But what I do care about is actual connection, realness. Sometimes crazy shit is fine. Just express it. Just realness and authenticity and action, like action-based things, like actually like taking the next step to move further along in a journey that you could benefit from. I think I've contributed to this space enough. I'm ready to move on. I'm getting into music and all types of other shit. I'm going to express myself in other ways. I'm tired of talking. I'm falling right now. I'm actually descending from the purple, and I'm going down below my fucking heart chakra, and I'm going to sleep there for a little while and dream. I'm going to dream in my sacral, my root, and my solar. And I'm just going to allow myself to be human and not feel bad about it. And I'm going to hope that at least my presence here in this world makes some kind of little dent or impact. And that, you know, it's always good to like find your, thank you, Arius. I appreciate the donation and your email. It's always great to connect with people that understand what you're saying. You don't have to agree with everything I'm saying. This is not a cult. I'm not trying to start a religion. Hold on for a second. If I'm merging two worlds, let me do it right. Hold on. Hold on for a second. Hold on. It's that Caribbean Jamaican coming out of me right now. I'm Swedish and Jamaican, by the way, for those who were wondering. Swedish and Jamaican. Both fucking sides are crazy. So, all I'm saying is, I want to merge two worlds, and without creating a religion or a cult. I want to inspire people to merge their upper half and their lower half. That's it. The fuck? This is our entire body. That should be a simple philosophy, right? I want to inspire people to take their higher self and their lower self, and we don't have to merge at the fucking heart. The heart is not a place to live. The heart is beating. You don't want to live in a place that is constantly beating. The heart is not kind all the time. The heart is busy working and pumping blood to keep your motherfucking ass alive until ... So you go to the heart for rejuvenation and remembrance, and you travel to another fucking part of your body. Please do not live in the heart. Why would you want to live in the heart? The shit is in the middle. Anything in the middle is sacrificial. It is the cross. If you are in the heart, you are on the cross of yourself. You are literally hanging like this. And I don't know what the fuck you're waiting for, but like, the heart is sacrificial. And they tell us, oh, go to your heart. If we're merging the upper and the lower, we must meet at the heart. And it's just like, no. The heart is not earth, by the way, even though it's the anagram for earth. It's not earth. The heart is actually the desert. The heart is just like, you're here, get the fuck out of here and go back somewhere else in the fucking body while I work. That's how I speak to the chakras, by the way. Your heart is literally like, the fuck you doing here? This is the machine. Why are you at the machine? Why are you here? Now, if you want to connect to the EMP and the result of what the heart produces, that's different. I can teach you about the EMP field and shit like that, or share with you, I should say, because I'm not a fucking teacher. I can share with you about the results of what the heart produces, but you don't want to be there. You'll get beat the fuck up. You'll be black and blue. Energetically, you'll be like, what? They keep telling me to go to my heart chakra. Why? So, travel. So all I'm saying is when people are usually merging upper and lower, they always tell you to meet in the fucking heart. And it's just like, stop. That's like being in the middle of a scale. You have or walking in between two lanes, in between the lines, instead of choosing one or another. After you have to choose your majority experience. If you're more upper, that is fine. If you're more lower, that is fine, but know your resonance and know your majority. So I'm going to show these two books. This is my last motherfucking YouTube video. I am tipsy. I am not drunk, and I'm very aware. I'm going to show these two books because only one book is shown. So we have this book here called the Holy Bible. Somebody gave me this Bible. I didn't buy it. And I'm actually going to read the Bible because I have not read the entire Bible. I'm going to read the Bible. I'm actually going to fucking read it and resonate with whatever fucking comes from the Bible. I'm going to fucking read it. The Holy Bible. All right. So this is the one I have that somebody just gave me, I guess, because my heathen ass motherfucking ass needs the Bible. Oh, I'm going to read it. And then what I have here, oh my God, how dare I share this? I should be casted upon the heathens of the heathens of the heathens. Oh, it's the Satanic Bible. The Satanic Bible by Anton Sander LaVey. See that upside down pentagram that everybody talks shit about? Motherfucker. This is your upper. This is your lower. This is a full body. Actually, this one should be bigger than this one, right? However, let's not look at size. Okay? This Bible here is below, as above, so below, right? If you really want to be a full person. And the Holy Bible right here. Okay? This Bible should be a little smaller. It's a little too big. It's a little too big. A little too fucking egotistical. Get the fuck out of here. All right? Merging these two worlds together, reading both. If you're resonating with it within yourself. Maybe, and listen, that's what I created the private group for. To discuss things in here. And to discuss things in here. Privately. At least as private as we can get in an intimate group that accepts both. I can't be with motherfuckers that just accept one. Either or, even though one is actually more logical than the other. It's neither here nor there. So thank you, Jessica. Thank you for the Cash App. So I'm going to end here. That is my mission here. So I'm bringing you guys over to my side of things that I feel is just at least the world that is being blueprinted. It'll be the more favorable one. If you were like playing a video game and you were to choose worlds to live in, like Sims and shit, you're just like, you have this world, you have that universe, you have this universe. My universe would be the best. My fucking universe would be the best. Why? Because I got both merged and intertwined harmonically. Not perfectly, but harmonically. Music, notes, things that are pleasurable to the mind, body, and soul, even if they are in conflict, it's still pleasurable. There's agitation and there's conflict. There's a difference. You can have conflict and actually deal with conflict. And then there's agitation, which is actually quite unnecessary. So there are universes that just create nothing but agitation and distraction, agitation, distraction. There are universes that are boring as fuck, that only deal with like one side, or they're just like only in the apps. Somebody told me to download TikTok. I have not downloaded TikTok. Just like, oh my God, the videos are really funny. And I'm just like, it's just not my kind of funny. I don't have fun on TikTok. I've looked at the app on a friend's phone. I don't want it. I don't fucking want TikTok. This shit is stupid. However, we have a generation that enjoys that shit, which is fine. We need that. I get it. I'm not an old head that says, oh my God, but it's just like not my thing. So I want to be able to have options of the same thing. So while TikTok is dealing with their thing of funny videos, there's like another side to TikTok. There's another side to Time that deals with other things. I'm just down for the other things. I can only take, I love real comedy, but things that are always constantly trying to be funny on purpose, that shit kills the spirit too. It's just, oh, you're killing the spirit with funny shit that is not even funny, but I've seen it enough that it somehow becomes programmed as funny. And now I'm a corny ass motherfucker. I'm not a corny motherfucker, so that's all I'm saying. So, that's it. So you want to play Sims or you want to play the game, choose your fucking universe. Choose your universe. Because in my universe, I got variety. I have variety. I have multi-dimensional shit. I got dumb shit and I got smart shit. I got superficial shit. I got deep shit. I got pretty. I got ugly. I got sexy. I got funny. I have multi-dimensional range. I have range in my universe. So if you guys are following people or you're fucking like paying for shit or wanting a goal, you got to ask yourself what you want. What the fuck do you want? What kind of world do you want to live in? I grew up in the 80s and 90s, 2000s, and all this shit. I grew up in the fucking eras before the internet and after, which is sometimes a curse in this world because it's just like, damn, like a lot of us are just wanting to go back in time just for a little bit for the nostalgia of how we connected with each other. And then there are people who are born now or in the 2000s, and this is all they know, and all they can do is duplicate what we did in the past. So they can't create an era. So there's no more creation, is what I'm saying. Carl Scott, enjoy you over any other. Thank you, Carl. They don't know how to create eras. They only know how to duplicate and copy. And it's nice that they're inspired by a past that they've never really experienced. But even some of us who were like from the 80s and the 90s, at least, right? Because we have 70s, 60s, 50s, 40s. Some of us actually remember lifetimes from then, which we still carry anyway, whether born in the 90s or 80s. But when you still come from a space that created style, created like a vibe from actual real-time feeling, you are an automatic creator no matter what era you are in, like now, right? So there's a lot of us that still know how to create out of nothing and create things that are unique because we come from an era where you had to. Like the 80s did not duplicate the style from anywhere. Motherfuckers from the 80s created the 80s. Motherfuckers from the 70s created the 70s. They did not duplicate it or copy from anywhere. Motherfuckers from the 60s did not duplicate or copy 50s, 40s, 30s, 20s. Each decade created something new for their decade. But somehow, when we got to at least 2010, possibly maybe 2012, we stopped producing original shit. And all we do now is we copy and clone. We don't produce something that is original anymore. So eras have stopped. We've stopped creating time. There is no more fucking time. There's no more time. I go on Netflix, try to watch something. I might as well just watch one show. I've watched them all. There's no more time left because we are not creating time. We are copying time. Time gets bored with copies. And I told you motherfuckers what time is. Time turns into death if you are not creating enough. So if time is bored with your shit, time is just like, fuck you. We're going to create something so that motherfuckers can create again. Oh, that's called chaos, guys. It's called something happening that is unpredictable, that rattles the emotions and feelings of people because we have to survive. Time is an actual entity. People say time is not real. Yes, the fuck it is. You wouldn't even have life if there was no time because you would have no sequence of your life. You would have no second by second, minute by minute, hour by hour, day by day, month by month. You would have no sequence. So how dare you say time doesn't exist or time isn't real? Fuck you, new age motherfuckers who says time is not real. Good. Stop checking the time then. Stop checking your watch. Stop looking to see if you're on time then. Shut the fuck up because time is real. And time is an actual essence and entity that says if you're not doing much with your fucking time, I'm going to destroy whatever the fuck you're doing so that I can bring time back. And that's what it is. And then we have the council motherfuckers. That's the Holy Bible. That's this fucking book. Which is fine. I have my opinions, but this is the holy. This is holy. The Holy Bible is the counsel and the management of time, the management of the details that time doesn't want to fucking deal with. Because time has all of everything, the fucking Akashic records, every record ever existing. So the holy ones come in and says, you know what, time, what we're going to do is we're going to go through the records and we're going to edit down and create something like tangible with the chaos that you bring, because you have all of the records in the entire fucking universe and world or whatever. You hold every single memory, every record, every experience. Time, you don't know if you go to Time's house, if Time had a house, that shit would be a mess, but it would be a chaotic mess that is organized because Time only knows what it means. Anybody else walking into that shit would be like, oh, I'm confused. It's too much. So that's when the holy one, the upper motherfuckers come in and they say, listen, at least the collaborative ones, not the combative, jealous ones, like the jealous God and shit, but the collaborative higher ones, council ones, they come into Time's house and they're just like, all right, I see some dope shit and I see bullshit. So what I'm going to do is, if you trust me, the Holy One, if you trust me with your records, I'll come in and I'll like edit down some shit so that I can bring it to the humans, bring it to the people in a way where they can like at least understand. Okay, Time? And Time is just like, thank you. Time has trust issues, but Time is just like, I'm watching you. I'm watching you motherfucking asses with my records. If you're not doing shit with my records that I left you entrusted with, then I'm coming for your motherfucking ass as the fucking Grim Reaper of death. If you don't stop playing, like, make something with my records, with my memories, with my experiences that I have recorded. Saturn, right? The rings of Saturn is filled with ice. The shit is cold as fuck. So it's just like, listen, what are you going to do with this information? And that's the collaboration between the Holy Bible and the Satanic Bible, that, you know, it's the back and the front, the up and the down, the side by side. It's just like, so to me, this is logical and this makes sense. And it's also magical and esoteric and beautiful and chaotic and organized. Can I see comments? Yes, I can. I'm just trying to conclude this video, though. I'm trying to leave. I'm trying to leave. Hold on. It's crazy because if you create, people just want to steal from you because it's that rare. There's some creators and a whole lot of lackluster thieves. Well, that's colonization. And in the class that I am hosting on November 11th, 11/11, one of the things we talk about is colonizing spirits. It doesn't matter what race you are. Like, we're not talking race colonization. We're talking spiritual colonization. And what is recognized with true value and how they actually colonize the shit. So there's an art to colonization. It happens everywhere. We can't, just like they try to kill demons and kill everything, or kill what is foreign, and they can't because everything exists. We can't kill like colonization either. Motherfuckers will always try to take over something that they don't understand and try to turn it into something else that they think is better, right? So that's like the mentality of the colonizer. Even in viruses and sickness, there are cells that colonize the body because they think they belong there. And they multiply themselves because they feel that that's their home. And the other cells in your body are just like, what the fuck? Like, no. You're foreign. Like, you can't stay here. And then your immune system comes in and fights off the colonizing motherfuckers. And sometimes they win. Sometimes the immune system wins. And sometimes the immune system does not. Right. So that's like a story of anything alive. So I want us to just get used to like mixing and mingling with different types. We judge all the time, but mixing and mingling with different types and trying to understand the point of view. And my point of view that keeps me grounded is that everything that thinks it's alive or is alive, right, always wants to remain alive. So there's a survival for everything that exists, even if you don't agree with it or not. So everything is trying to survive. And if you understand that philosophy, then you understand that everything exists and always will exist. You cannot get rid of something. You can navigate through something, but you can't get rid of it in a way that is just like, it's gone. It doesn't exist anymore. You can't do that. That is the only thing that probably is impossible, is to get rid of a part of a whole of something that can't die. So I'm going to stop there. The Bible has a lot of coding. I know. The Bible is very satanic, by the way. The fucking the Old Testament is graphic as fuck. It's a lot of death and sacrifice and people eating each other and doing all types of shit, killing kids. There's all types of shit that it's very like brutal, by the way. That's in the Bible though, right? Until Jesus came and said, wait. And then the New Testament was born, right? And then we have the Satanic Bible basically is not brutal. It's just very matter of fact in the humanism and individualism of people. It is just explaining how we have these feelings that we can't ignore and that we need to create a space for these fucking feelings and just like understand that we feel angry sometimes. And sometimes it's okay to express that anger. We should not love thy neighbor all the time, because you will kill yourself if you constantly love people that don't deserve your love. Sometimes hate is necessary, right? So there's like another part of that that does not agree with the overall love and acceptance of everything, because no, we can't love and accept everything, actually. So it's kind of bringing people into a wilderness-like state, like the animals and shit that are in the jungle and the sea. Predators and prey are out there. It exists. We can't get rid of it. So sometimes you need to be on guard and sometimes you need to accept, right? So there's a knowing the balance in that. So it's not, this actually is not like about like doing wrong and evil, and it's actually explaining what the misunderstanding is of it. So I actually appreciate the book. I wasn't afraid to order it. I'm not afraid to hold it. Like, I'm just like, okay, like it's a word, it's an energy, and it exists. So why not learn more about it if I'm going to be a quote unquote whole person? And that's it. So anyway, I'm going to end this now. I know I said this like 20 minutes ago, but I'll end with a conclusion of, hey, the link to book a session or book the class that we're having on 11/11 is there. The coupon code is 20% off. So it's the coupon code is actually class 11, right? All lowercase, class 11. If you put it in checkout for the Portal of Light Through Darkness class, it is an ongoing class that I'll be doing every month, once a month, on a Friday, once a month. So you can book for 11/11, you can book for December 9th, you can book for January 6th. It is limited for participation or participants. So you can book ahead of time if you want to come to the January class or the version. But these are the people who book for these things. These are the people that I'm going to be inviting to meetups when I travel next year. And when I go to different spots, we're going to just gather like 20 to 30 people. I'm not trying to have a whole fucking stadium or bunch of people, but like intimate gatherings where we can express ourselves honestly and continue from what we've been expressing via sessions, via our private Facebook group, and continue on in the progression. So it doesn't just stop at a session. I also have ongoing sessions for those who book sessions with me, because it's like therapy. You motherfuckers book my sessions. You talk about your moms, your dads, your inner child, abuse. You talk about your children. You talk about so many things in a matter of an hour and a half, 2 hours. And then it's just like, wait, we've gotten to a point of resolution for one thing, but now I need to follow up with you. You still want to talk to me more, but our session has ended. So there's an option of ongoing sessions if you want to. I'm like one of the best therapists in the fucking world. So you want to book with me and get ongoing therapy, mind, body, soul therapy for your fucking needs. Not the overall community collective shit, but like your shit. I'm here for that because you help me as much as I help you. And I'm very passionate about this personal work that I do. The public shit, I'm done. I think I've been public enough. My fucking ego is showing today, and I am good with that. But then I am going in the cave and I'm dealing with my personal people. So anyway, with that being said, liberatedpen.com, Cash App donations with email. I'll send you something and maybe you'll think about booking a session. But either way, I thank you guys for watching and for listening. And yeah, this is a goodbye here and a continuation there. Right. So thank you again. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. Right. Today's Friday. Enjoy the rest of your weekend, the rest of your November, your holidays, into your New Year's. And I'll see you. I love you guys. Bye.